Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Central High School for tonight's football action between the Central Warriors and the visiting Grundy Golden Wave. We've got a pivotal contest here for you tonight, a contest that has a lot of playoff implications. To put it simply, if the Central Warriors win tonight, the season will carry over for another week, and they will advance to the VHSL Division II playoffs. A loss tonight by the Warriors against Grundy, and it's season over. So it's a game 7. It's a do or die. You know, it's however you want to classify it here in the regular season. But if the Warriors can win tonight, they will advance to the playoffs. Tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. The England Consulting Group provides professional training, legal, and consulting services to local, state, and federal agencies. Our goal is to train 21st century leaders to be their best. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. Every first down tonight will be sponsored by Sturgill Sports Media. And this game is also brought to you by Lonesome Pine Country Club, Morgan McClure, Coburn, Virginia, Shade Tree Landscaping, Evans Sturgill Photography, and the Heaters Baseball Club. To get in touch with us tonight, you can reach us at Twitter on Sturgill S Media and at Warrior Nation Blog. That's Warrior NATN Blog. That's on Twitter. Or you can email us at warriornationblog@gmail.com. Again, huge game for the Central Warriors tonight. Joining me tonight, again, my partner in crime is Mr. Kelly Foster. And, Kelly, what can you tell us about tonight's game?
Well, as you said, Chris, this is do or die for the Warriors. You know, when we broadcast our first game, and I can't remember if it was September or it was the last week of August when the Warriors took on Eastside here at Central Warrior Stadium, we were kind of looking ahead, previewing the season, and we were going down through the list of games, and we came down to the end. And I believe if you go back and listen to the broadcast and pull it up, you can hear us talking about how this game could determine whether the Warriors make it to the playoffs or not. And sure enough, here we are. After a season of ups and downs, after a season of a lot of injuries, after a season of some pretty good ball games, we sit here one game away from the playoffs. And so it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be very exciting to see what goes on here tonight at Central Warrior Stadium.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned that first broadcast. You know, looking back at that, you know, you actually had a Twitter poll there. I don't know if you can dig that up at some point during the broadcast tonight, but you actually asked a lot of our listeners, you know, how many wins we could expect the Central Warriors to have this season. And again, you know, maybe we can look that up as the broadcast goes. But you mentioned, you know, going all the way back to that first game against Eastside. You know, here we are. It's the final week of the season. And, you know, truth be told, if you want to be honest with yourself, this season has probably played out about how many people expected it to for the Warriors. You know, they come in tonight with 3 wins against 6 losses, so a 3-6 overall record. Again, they defeated Eastside there in that first contest to open up the season. And here we are riding back-to-back victories, beating Gate City last week in a thriller in overtime, and then that win at Lehigh a few weeks back. So, you know, Central's won the games that many people thought they could. They lost the games that most probably expected them to lose. And, you know, here we are, the last week of the season, and, again, a win tonight against Grundy, and they're moving on to the playoffs.
A win tonight, and you move on. After overcoming all the injuries, all the things that have gone on, you know, you lose your quarterback early in the season. Actually, I think it was week 5. And to be sitting here at week 11, counting the bye week, of course, sitting here at week 11 with an opportunity. And I think all you can ask for is a chance. And, you know, you look at this team, and they have really relied on the run game over the past couple of weeks, and most notably C.J. Crabtree, Matthew Boggs, and Maddox Reynolds. And coming into tonight's game, C.J. Crabtree on the season has 147 carries for 760 yards. So C.J. Would need 200, if my math's right, 240 yards on the ground tonight to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark. Now, if the Warriors were to win, he may have a better shot at that going into a playoff game next week. Matthew Boggs for the Warriors, 80 carries for 412 yards. Maddox Reynolds, 58 carries for 204 yards. So if you look at tonight's game and you look at how the Warriors have gotten to this point this season, it has been the running game.
Yeah, absolutely, especially once as you said, the injuries once Isaiah went down. They did throw the ball a little bit more, it seemed, earlier in the season when McCamus was healthy. And since his injury and the shift to Ethan Mullins at quarterback, they have relied a lot more heavily on the ground. That's not saying they weren't, a heavy running team prior to that, but even more so since Ethan has stepped in there at quarterback. We said it's do or die game, and you might like to see a little bit easier of an opponent coming in. And we don't know a whole lot about Grundy outside of the fact that they do come in tonight with a 6-3 overall record. They are led by, again, a pretty solid running back. We know they beat John I. Burton earlier in the season. Oh, I'm sorry, John I. Burton beat them earlier in the regular season. But, again, they're led by a running back as well.
That's right. And like you said, Chris, we don't know a whole lot about Grundy. What we do know, they are 6-3. We also know they have a running back who was a social media phenomenon a couple of weeks ago. You may have seen him. You can go to social media right now. You can probably pull up this clip. He runs over a John I. Burton player going down the sideline. It was featured on ESPN, on several social media outlets. So we're going to see plenty of we're going to see a lot of the running game from both sides tonight. But this kid from Grundy, his name is
it's Gabe Pfizer.
Gabe Pfizer. Okay, Gabe Pfizer. He's a tough running back, and he's number 12, I believe.
Number 3.
He's number 3. I saw Endicott, who is number 12, come out. He's a good-sized young man, too. He is their quarterback tonight for Grundy. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what Grundy comes in here with. To win 6 football games, you have to do something right. And so here they are coming in here tonight on a let's just face it, a miserable night here at Central Warrior Stadium.
Yeah, we're expecting a lot more listeners here tonight, perhaps. As we were informed here before the game, a kind of honoring the late Don Hall. Again, Don Hall, an old member of the J.J. Kelly baseball coaching staff. His sons played baseball at J.J. Kelly. We were told to maybe give him an honorary, note tonight, say that it is a partial sellout here at Central Warrior Stadium. As you alluded to there, Kelly, it is a pretty dreadful night here at Central Warrior Stadium. We've commented just about every game about how we have been blessed with great weather at every home game so far this season. Earlier in the year, some nice warm weather. Last week it did cool off, and we saw fall kind of roll in here. Maybe we benefited from moving last week's game to Thursday, and we avoided some bad weather. The powers that be opting to play this game on Friday, and they may have perhaps wished they had played it last night, because we're looking out in the field now. You can see a nice glistening of the turf as the field is wet. Looking at the stadium lights across the way, there is a steady mist that continues to fall down here at Central Warrior Stadium. So
it is blowing sideways.
Yes, it is blowing right to left across our view here. And, we've talked about both teams being having a running attack. So we expect that to be even more prominent here tonight with a wet football. And perhaps tonight, footing and holding on and securing the football will be of even more importance considering the weather. Real quick, you commented on that social media, the play there by Grundy. It made me think of something that will touch our younger viewers. I think the phrase that got used was truck stick.
Truck stick.
The player from John I. Burton was truck sticked by Pfizer. We believe it was Pfizer in that clip. Again, if you haven't seen that clip, go to social media, go to Twitter. You'll probably be able to find that pretty easily. And like I said, it was again, he was running the football, and at about the 20-yard line, he basically just runs over the John I. Burton defender and then coasted into the end zone. But, what gets left out of all that, Kelly, is the fact that, yes, he did truck stick the player from John I. Burton, but John I. Burton won the game.
John I. Burton won the game, and in the end, I guess that all that matters. Although the young man that got ran over, he probably remembers something else.
Yeah, that is correct. Well, there's about a little under 3 minutes here before the kickoff, and the Central Warriors band is now on the field and will play the national anthem. Again, it's the Central Warriors band there playing the national anthem. Again, the Central Warriors band under the direction of Mr. Ben Harding. Again, a great job this season by the band, and, you got to give them another, tip of the cap. Again, this weather is very dreadful looking out there, and again, for these young men and women to go out there and be able to play those instruments and play the national anthem in this type of weather, again, you got to give them a little bit of credit and praise for the job that they've done this season all throughout the regular season.
Speaking of the band, I stopped by their concession stand before coming up to the booth tonight, and Brandon Bennett actually handed me a bag of popcorn and said, this is the best popcorn in all the land. And I got to say, after partaking in about a quarter of the bag, he is absolutely correct.
So you've only had a quarter of the bag, which means, if you've listened to any of our broadcasts, especially last week, Kelly and our statistician over here to our right, Peanut, they do like to snack on some food during the game. Last week it was mini-sized candy bars, and as I look down to my right, Peanut has some more mini-sized candy bars, as well as a sub of some sort here from a local sub shop. I also see a half a bag of popcorn, a bag of Skittles, and a Snickers bar.
We are set to go for the next 3 hours.
None of which are for me, I might add. But they are set, and we are getting set for football. There's about 10 seconds on the clock. The captains for both teams have met at center field here at the 50-yard line, waiting for the coin toss. The coin toss has been made. It appears that Grundy has won the coin toss, and they have elected to receive. So the Central Warriors will be kicking off and will play defense to kick this huge final week. We hope it's not the final week of Central football, but it is the final week of the regular season. And, like we said, hopefully we'll be able to bring you next week's game, but we got to see how this one plays out first.
And another thing we want to add tonight, it is the final week of the regular season and the final home game of the season. And so tonight, that makes tonight senior night for the Central Warriors.
Yeah, prior to the game, again, the Central Warriors seniors were being honored on the field. Again, the Central football team, some of the cross-country members were being recognized out on the field. Unfortunately, there weren't any cheerleaders being honored tonight, not because there weren't any seniors and they don't deserve to be honored, but the cheerleaders tonight are actually getting ready to compete in the state cheerleading competition.
Headed to state, Richmond.
Heading to Richmond. They left out this morning for that competition. And so there are no Central Warriors cheerleaders here tonight, but we wish them all the best of luck as they compete for the state title in the state cheerleading competition in Richmond.
And I got to admit, Chris, it looks a little odd that the cheerleaders are not here.
Yeah, it does look, there are some majorettes down here on the field. The band is still here, so we still have that feel. But you are correct, Kelly. Looking down here at the track, it does look a little bare. Looks a little odd without seeing the cheerleaders here. And again, you look in the stands, and as we said, plenty of seats still available. But again, if you're listening to us at home right now, we appreciate it. We've already advised, or we've talked about, this is the night where you might just want to put on a cup of coffee or brew you a pot of coffee, get you some hot chocolate, maybe turn on the fireplace, and tune in to us as we bring you this huge, playoff potential clinching game for the Central Warriors. Both teams are now set for the opening kickoff. The Warriors in their all-black uniforms with red trim and red numbers, silver helmets. Grundy shows up in their road all-white uniforms with blue numbers and gold helmets. One quick thing here before we kick off, Coach Owens would love to win this game tonight. Not only would it get Central into the playoffs, but it will also be a win against his alma mater. Yep. And Coach Owens, a Grundy graduate. There's the kickoff. It is a short kickoff that will be received by Grundy at the 20-yard line, bobbled for a little bit. He'll retreat to the 15-yard line. He gets it back out across the 20, breaks a few tackles. He's across the 40, across the 50. He's got one man to beat. He spins and will be finally chased out of bounds all the way on the Central Warriors side of the field, all the way back to the Warriors 35. That kickoff return was by number 11, Jacob McCoy. So Grundy will start tonight with really good field position on his first drive.
Yeah, the kickoff went over McCoy's head, and it took a bounce, and it bounced up to him. A lot of times when that happens, the kickoff team, it kind of makes them kind of ease up. He picked the ball up and had a great return for Grundy right out of the gate.
Again, the Grundy quarterback is number 12, Derek Endicott. He goes under center. On the opening play, it is a toss off to the left-hand side. Central's able to stretch out the play. It's going to go down for about a gain of 2. Again, that's number 3, Gabe Pfizer, a name we'll call a lot here tonight for Grundy on the carry off to the left-hand side. He'll pick about 2 for a second down and 8.
Yeah, and that was Logan Mullins in on the tackle for the Central Warriors. Logan comes into tonight's game with 39 tackles. He's the second leading tackler on the team behind Tyson Tester.
So Grundy has the ball on the Central Warriors 37-yard line. I believe I said it was at the 35. They got it across the 40. There's the snap. It's a running play by the quarterback, Endicott. He goes off the right-hand side. He's being pursued. He crosses the 25 across the 20. He continues to break tackles, and he broke about 4 tackles. Very bad tackling right there by the Central Warriors, and Endicott will take it all the way into the end zone for a 37-yard touchdown play on the second play of the game for Grundy.
Well, to me, Chris, that looked like a busted play right out of the gate, and Endicott took the ball, broke several tackles, and just ran right through the Central Warrior defense. These guys from Grundy run the football hard, so we're going to have to shore up the tackling aspect of our game tonight.
Yeah, again, Grundy had about 2 or 3 guys in the backfield looking to hand it off to, and as you mentioned, Endicott, it seemed like it was a broken play, so he decided to scramble off to his right, eluded a few tackles, and like I said, 37 yards later, and Grundy's on the board leading 6-0, just 59 seconds into the game. The extra point is kicked, and it is up and no good. So maybe a slight break here for Central on the opening point after attempt. Like I said, 59 seconds into this game, and Grundy has a 6-0 lead. So not the way the Warriors hope to start this one off.
Absolutely not the way you want to start a game that could get you into the playoffs. First off, you let a big kick return on the opening kick, and then a couple plays into the ball game, you miss some tackles there into the end zone. Now, the bright side of that is they missed the extra point, and as we saw last week, those missed extra points can really come back and hurt you.
Absolutely. Again, so far, you look at some of the missed tackles, and Central's probably already missed at least a half a dozen tackles, and Grundy's only, basically run 3 plays. You had the kickoff and then 2 running plays, and the kickoff, about 2 or 3 missed tackles, and then on that run, again, probably 2 or 3 more missed tackles have really cost Central here early on in this contest. So you wonder if perhaps the weather may come into play with some of that, if perhaps it's getting difficult to wrap a guy up and bring them down. Grundy sets to kick it off from their own 40. There's the kickoff. It's a short one angled to the left-hand side. Central lets it bounce. They'll pick it up at the 25-yard line, get it across the 35, across the 40, where Central will finally be brought down at around the 43-yard line. So not quite as good field position for Central on this drive as Grundy had, but nonetheless still pretty good field position.
And I'm excited to see what the Central Warrior offense brings to the table tonight with Ethan Mullins under center. And we talked earlier about the 3-back attack with Maddox Reynolds, Matthew Boggs, and C.J. Crabtree.
So Central huddles up on the sideline. Again, as we've mentioned before, it's a pretty dreary night. I look at her on the football field right now, and there's a green balloon that's just blowing down like a tumbleweed on the sideline over on the Central sideline. It will eventually probably make its way all the way down to the end zone. Let's hope maybe the Central Warriors offense can beat it down there. Ethan Mullins again goes up under center here. The Warriors have 2 wing backs off to the side and a tailback. There goes one guy in motion. It is a handoff. I believe that's number 12, Maddox Reynolds. He sidesteps the tackle, gets it across midfield. Good hard running right there by Reynolds as he gets it all the way across the Grundy 45. It'll be a gain of about 12 and a Central Warriors first down. Again, first downs are not brought to you by Sturgill Sports Media.
And this is exactly what we saw in the second half of last week's ball game, a little sweep action to the right and to the left. But instead of trying to just pin the ball out to the top, Maddox chooses to cut it up between the tackles, gets a good gain there for a first down.
Yeah, again, last week in the first half, Maddox Reynolds tried to drag those plays out a little far to the left, but then in the second half, he started cutting them back up with a little more success. Ethan Mullins takes the snap. He fumbles the snap. He's able to pick it up. It will go down for a loss of about 2, which may be good news for Central on that play. Again, that could have been disastrous here on the Warriors' second play. Ethan Mullins bobbled the snap. He was able to recover his own fumble, actually picked it up with a chance to run, but was met by a Grundy defender in the backfield.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those things that we watch tonight as the rain continues to fall. The ball is going to be slick, so we're going to make sure that the center's hands are dry and the quarterback's hands dry as well.
The Warriors break the huddle. Ethan Mullins goes back up under center. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion to the right. It's a handoff to Crabtree. He crosses the 40-yard line. He's got some running room, Kelly. He's across the 20. He's across the 10. It is a touchdown for C.J. Crabtree, a 46-yard run off the right-hand side. And just about a minute and 12 seconds after Grundy scores, Central comes back and ties the game at 6.
Well, if the first two are any indication, we're in for a fun one here tonight, Chris. CJ takes the jet sweep to the right side, gets up the right sideline, and there's nobody going to catch him as he strolls into the end zone. Good run there by CJ. Now Peyton Rogers on to attempt the extra point for the Warriors.
So it takes Grundy 2 plays. Central Warriors come back, and it takes them 3. Peyton Rogers' extra point attempt is up, and I believe it was wide right. That is correct.
No good.
Had plenty of leg, but he pushed it off to the right. So we are exactly 2 minutes and 11 seconds into this game, Kelly, and we have seen 5 plays, 2 touchdowns, and 2 missed point after attempts.
Being a former player, here's one thing that I know. When it gets cold, when you get hit, it hurts a little more. So not a whole lot of defense going on out here on the field right now.
Normally when you see a high-scoring game, you think, high-flying offenses, but perhaps we're in for one of these just all-out track meets on the ground tonight. Nobody wanting to hit, nobody tackling, nobody really wanting to wrap up, some slip tackles, and maybe we're in for a game in the 40s or the 50s before this one's all said and done with all of it being on the ground.
There was a game a few years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but the Warriors were still playing at UVA Wise. We wound up winning the game against Lee 51-50. It was a night similar to this, maybe even a little worse. 51-50, the final score. I think Lee's running back that night had close to 500 yards rushing. So,
CJ so far on one carry has 46 yards.
That helps your average.
That absolutely does. So he's on pace. As you said, he needs 200-some yards tonight to get to 1,000, and he only needs about 4 more runs on this pace, and he'll be there. This time the Central Warriors kick it off. It's a squib kick, but we have a whistle and a timeout has been called before the kickoff. So someone choosing to use a timeout, I suppose, before the kickoff was made. I'm not sure if it was a planned onside kick attempt by the Central Warriors on that play. No, I'll take it back. We actually have a penalty flag. It's going to be offsides. Could not quite tell there. We don't have the official word coming from the head referee. That was coming from the side judge over on the side. But he did signal offsides on the Warriors. So instead of kicking it off from the 40, Peyton Rogers will back it up to the 35, and Central will kick it off from there. Again, the Central Warriors huddle up now at the 30-yard line, talking about what they want to do here on the second kickoff of the game. We'll see exactly what happens here. Expect probably, again, a short kickoff to one of the up men for Grundy. That's what we've seen pretty much all year from the Central Warriors kicking team. Peyton Rogers kicks it from the 35, and he actually kicks it deep. It's actually over the back man's head. It lands at the 10 and will trickle into the end zone. That will be a touchback. So the Warriors move back 5 yards on the kickoff and elect to just kick it deep. And Peyton Rogers showed he actually has the leg to kick it deep if they want to.
Peyton really smoked that ball, kicked it over the returner's head, and it would have benefited Central had the ball died there at the 1, so they would have had to bring it out. But as we have learned this year in high school football, when the ball crosses the goal line, it's automatic touchback. So Grundy will take possession of the football. Let's see what kind of changes or what kind of adjustments this Warrior defense made on the second possession.
So Grundy comes out with the ball on their own 20. Endicott takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer. Pfizer finds some room off the right-hand side. He'll cross the 25, get it out to about the 28. Now they're going to mark him at the 29-yard line. So it's going to go down for a 9-yard run for Pfizer, bringing up 2nd down and 1 for Grundy.
And that was C.J. Crabtree coming up from his outside linebacker position, making the tackle that time for the Central Warriors. We're going to have to get them in a worse second down situation. So far tonight, Grundy's had their way on the ground.
Again, Pfizer goes back up under center as Grundy breaks the huddle ball on the Central Warriors 29. Endicott hands it off to number 22, the up man. That's the fullback. He'll pound his way across the 30-yard line, which should be enough for a Grundy first down, but it's only going to be a gain of 1 on the play for number 22 for Grundy.
And number 22 for Central, Tyson Tester, in on that tackle for the Warriors. So here we are in the first quarter, tied at 6 with 9 minutes to go. Both teams in their opening possession have matriculated the ball down the field and got it in the end zone. Now Grundy's taken over here, got a first down. Now they have the ball on the 30-yard line, another 1st and 10 for the Golden Wave.
Number 22 for Grundy is Sage King again on that 1-yard run. Endicott takes a snap. He fumbles. The ball's on the ground. There's bodies all over it. Can't quite tell who got it. I believe Grundy will recover it. Endicott could not take the snap, actually dove for it. Couldn't quite tell if he recovered it or if another member from Grundy got it. It's going to go down as a short loss, pretty much just inside the 30-yard line. We'll call it 2nd down and a long 10 for the Golden Wave.
And that is something we're going to have to keep an eye on tonight. The wet ball due to the rain paying off early here for the Warriors.
Endicott in the shotgun. He tosses it off to the left to Pfizer. There's a whole host of Warriors to meet him in the backfield. Pfizer will get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage and not much more. We'll give him a gain of maybe 1, if that. And Kelly, you mentioned maybe getting some more manageable situations for the Warriors defense. And here we are, 3rd down and 10.
And I think that's what you want to do against Grundy, get them in 3rd and long. That was good pursuit that time by the Warriors defense. And let's see what happens here on 3rd down and long.
Let's see if Grundy will pass it on 3rd and long if they'll elect to run it. Endicott takes the
snap. Bad snap.
He fumbles it again. There's another whole host of bodies. Can't quite tell who recovered it. We're waiting the signal. There's the official. The Central Warriors recover the fumble. So, Kelly, here's what we've seen so far. We've played 4 minutes and 1 second. And we've seen 3 times already that the center quarterback exchange has been tough. One time for the Warriors, they were able to get the fumble back, and now twice by Grundy on that possession. And for the Warriors, the second one proves beneficial for them as Central recovers the fumble and has the ball with good field position.
Hard to run a play when you can't get the snap, but that's what we're faced with here tonight. That turf, when the turf gets wet, it's great. You don't get muddy. It doesn't get mud on your uniform, anything like that. But it's slick out there. Trust me.
I have seen the officials, switching balls. That seems like about every play or two, trying to keep a fresh, dry ball on the field. Ethan Mullins takes the snap. Maddox Reynolds goes in motion. I believe the handoff was to Matthew Boggs in the backfield. Boggs runs it up the middle. He'll get a short gain before being brought down around the 28-yard line. And the Warriors have the ball on Grundy's side of the field at the 28-yard line. So it's a 2-yard run by Boggs.
And the Warriors were very fortunate on that play because that handoff was bobbled by Matthew Boggs. Now, I understand, the ball is a little wet, but it's not like we're playing in a monsoon here.
No, it's not. It's just a steady rain. In fact, it seems to be a little lighter now, at least the rainfall compared to about 15 minutes ago. Warriors break the huddle. Ethan goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. He takes the handoff off the right-hand side. He breaks a few tackles, gets it across the 25. He crosses the 20. He'll drag a Grundy player inside the 15 all the way down near the 10-yard line. So C.J. Crabtree with a double-digit run, most of that coming on his own as he broke a few tackles on that stretch play out to the right.
What a tough run there by C.J. He was the initial contact was made at the line of scrimmage. He broke about 3 or 4 tackles right there. CJ looks like he's going to be the workhorse for the Warriors tonight, as he's been all season long.
They mark him down at the 15-yard line, so he'll go down as a 13-yard run. So it will hurt CJ's average so far on the ground, as he has a 48 and now just a 13-yard carry on the night. The Warriors break the huddle again. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. It's a fake to him. They'll hand it off to Matthew Boggs in the backfield off the left-hand side. He'll be met just across the line of scrimmage. It'll be a short game, maybe of about 1. So far, Matthew Boggs having a tough time on the run. But again, that's just 2 carries for him so far.
I think that was actually Maddox Reynolds there, Chris. I got to make mention, last week the Warriors wore the black jerseys with the pink numbers. You could see the numbers clear as day. Tonight, we got I don't know if you call that black. It looks black. You might as well call it black. But then just the red numerals on the back, not outlined in anything, only red. Hard to see the numbers from where we're sitting.
Yeah, it is hard, but not quite like the girls' basketball team I saw last night that wore dark green with black numbers. It was impossible to see.
That's true.
Ethan Mullins this time's in the shotgun. C.J. Crabtree went in motion. He was going to be a lead blocker. Ethan Mullins breaks a tackle off the right-hand side, tries to cut it back into the middle near the sideline. It looked like it was going to be a loss of a few yards, Kelly, but it looks like Ethan Mullins will make a little bit out of nothing. He'll pick up a couple of yards, making it 3rd down and about 7 here for Central on this second drive.
Yeah, not a whole lot there on the quarterback sweep to the boundary side. Ethan did all he could, went ahead for a couple of yards. It's going to put the Warriors in 3rd and long. like you said, Chris, the ball inside the 15-yard line.
That was a new wrinkle. We didn't see that much last week against C.J. Crabtree. Went in motion, which we've seen a lot of. But that time it was a direct snap to Ethan Mullins, and it was a run by Mullins all the way with Crabtree just being the blocker. Ethan Mullins in the shotgun on this play. He takes the snap. He drops back the pass. It's a pass over the middle. He had an open receiver in the end zone, but unfortunately for Ethan and the Warriors, it comes up incomplete. I believe the pass was intended for number 12, Maddox Reynolds, that will fall incomplete.
Yeah, and that's going to bring up 4th down now for the Warriors. Now, if you listened to our game last week or were at the game last week, Central had some miscues on their special teams. As a matter of fact, much was mentioned of the fact of Coach Owens going for 2 in overtime against Gate City, choosing to elect to not kick the extra point. And it looks like here tonight on 4th and long inside the 15-yard line, the Warriors are going to go for it again.
It is worth mentioning that the Warriors receiving core is a little depleted tonight. I've gone Ben Brickey. Yeah, Ben Brickey got injured there last week, hurt his leg on a pass attempt over the middle. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion to the right. He breaks a few tackles, and he's not going to pick up enough for the first down. In fact, he's going to go backwards. He tried to stretch it out to the right again. It was that jet sweep to the right-hand side with C.J. Crabtree, which was the short side of the field. He was met in the backfield by Grundy, was able to elude that tackle and cut it back to the middle, but found no running room that way. And on the Warriors' second drive, it'll be a turnover on downs, ball back to Grundy.
Yeah, a real wasted opportunity there for the Central Warriors, recovering a fumble inside the 30-yard line, not able to do anything with it.
Again, they got that fumble inside the 30 and actually saw a 13-yard run by Crabtree go for naught on the drive. Grundy's first play, it's a quarterback keeper here by Endicott. He breaks another tackle, gets it out across the 30 off the right-hand side, decides to run it backwards. He's still going now. He's all the way back to the 20-yard line, and he's going to break another tackle, breaks another tackle. He sidesteps another tackle. He's actually still in the backfield. He finally breaks. He's now across the 30. He's across the 40. He gets a block. Looks like the Warriors defense led up. He's now across the 20. He's across the 10. It's going to go in as a touchdown for Grundy. It's an 85-yard run and a touchdown, but we do have a few flags thrown here at about the 30-yard line. It may be coming back, Kelly.
Well, it's going to come back, but it's going to come back from the spot of the foul, which is the Warriors' 27-yard line. What a run by Endicott there. I don't know if it was a great run or if that was just terrible tackling or it was a little bit of both. It was an 80-yard touchdown. 85. He probably ran 185 at least.
Had the first down, and then I think he ran back to the line of scrimmage and then ran it back off to the right in the direction that he started the play in. He spun, broke a tackle, broke some more tackles, and then as he went down the sidelines, it was almost as if some of the Central defenders sort of let up thinking the play might have been over. Grundy had a few lead blockers out in front. I didn't quite catch what the flag was on. I'm going to assume maybe it was a block in the back or they're calling personal foul hit to the head. I believe that's what that symbol
it's almost
is.
Like a targeting maybe.
Yeah.
A targeting foul against Grundy. The foul occurred well behind the play. The ball carrier was almost into the end zone when the foul occurred back at the 27, which wipes out the touchdown for Grundy. Fortunately for the Central Warriors, but nevertheless, the Warriors are going to have to wrap these guys up and get them on the ground, or it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, absolutely. So the penalty flag, I believe, was going to be a hit to kind of a not a defenseless, I guess a defenseless defender.
Hit to a defenseless player.
Kind of like basically a cheap shot, for lack of a better term. We're not going to say Grundy's cheap shotting, but it's kind of what it is. A player not really paying attention, and somebody just comes and decks him. Again, as you said, it was well behind the play. Like I said, it wipes out a touchdown, fortunately for the Warriors, but again, a block that really didn't need to happen for Grundy. Endicott in the shotgun. It's going to be a direct snap to Pfizer instead. He goes off the left-hand side. He crosses the 40, gets it out down around the 35-yard line. It will be a gain of 6. I believe I want to say there was a penalty flag here on the near side that was thrown on the snap, so we'll have to wait and see what the penalty flag is.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be motion against Grundy there. I think one of the backs started to move before the ball was snapped.
So the head official walks across to confer with another referee. We're still awaiting what the signal is. It was about a 6-yard gain. It's going to be a false start penalty here on Grundy. So it will wipe out another pretty good gain right there by Grundy on first down. They're going to mark it off from the 40-yard line. So now it'll be first down and 10 from the 45. So it's going to bring about, first down and 15 now from the Grundy or from the Central 46. So Grundy has the ball at the Central Warriors 46-yard line with 4 minutes and 58 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Our score is tied at 6. Endicott in the shotgun for Grundy. He takes the snap. It's another pitch off to the left-hand side to Pfizer. He eludes a few Central Warriors tacklers before finally being brought down just across the 45. We're going to mark him down at the 43-yard line, and we have a late penalty flag here that gets thrown well after the play is over in the defensive backfield. Flag was thrown all the way back by the official at the 25-yard line. There's another one over here on the near side. So, Cal, I got a feeling this game's starting to get a little bit chippy now after that block that occurred on Grundy.
Yeah, this game's past chippy right now. The Warriors coaching staff has been on the officials since the first drive of the game. Just some extracurricular activity going on in between plays. And now we have 2 flags down. I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 personal fouls called here.
There's the first one's personal foul against the Warriors. We've got a sideline warning now against the Warriors. So actually, it's not going to be a double, a double personal foul. They're going to call that on the Warriors. Didn't quite catch to see who it was, but we did see a little bit of some extra activity going on well beyond the play. And the tackle was made at about the 43-yard line. The activity was going on all the way down about 20 yards past that on the Warriors' 25-yard line. Fairly certain it was maybe just a late push, maybe some jawing going back and forth, and the official decided that there needed to be a penalty flag on it. So Grundy has the ball 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. It's a handoff to the right-hand side. Grundy will cross the 25-yard line, brought down at the 23-yard line. So another pretty decent game for Grundy, setting up a 2nd down and 5 here on the Warriors' 23-yard line.
Yeah, too much on 1st down there for the Warrior defense to give up. These guys are going to have to dig in with 4:18 remaining here in the first quarter.
Again, tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. Grundy breaks the huddle. Endicott in the shotgun. He's joined by Pfizer. There's a man in motion. He hands it off to Pfizer in the backfield. He's going to be wrapped up in the backfield by a whole host of Warriors. He's met by number 67 in the backfield, Kelly. They're going to bring him all the way back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a loss of quite a bit. It's going to actually bring up 3rd down and 9. I believe number 67 for the Warriors is Devin Dingus, the defensive tackle. So good job right there. Again, Pfizer was trying to break the tackle, but Dingus hung on tight and was able to bring him down. Luckily, kept him up long enough for some Warriors to come and help. So here we are, 3rd down and 9. Endicott takes the snap. It's another handoff to Pfizer up the middle. He breaks a tackle and runs over a Central Warriors defender. He crosses the 22-yard line, which was the yard to gain. So on 3rd down and 9, Grundy elects to run it with Pfizer up the middle, and we'll get enough for a 1st down.
We're hitting these guys high. We're trying to arm tackle. It's not going so well. We're going to have to hit them low, get them on the ground here as Grundy continues to drive the football.
Again, Pfizer not built like some of the other running backs we've seen. He just seems to be just an average-sized running back. We've seen some big old running backs and some quick running backs, especially, you go back to that Graham game. They had some tanks out there. This time, Endicott hands it off to the up man up the middle. He's across the 10-yard line, right at to about the 10-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of about 4 yards for Grundy on 1st down. Again, the up man is number 22. That's Sage Keene for the Golden Wave.
Yeah, they're 4 and 5 yarding us to death here, and I'm just waiting for the big quarterback Endicott to carry the ball again because we're having a real hard time getting our hands on that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. This time, Endicott goes in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer off the right-hand side. He's across the 10. We pushed out of bounds at the 7-yard line. That'll be short of a 1st down by a couple of yards. So with Grundy driving the ball down the field, it sets up another key 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3 here for Grundy with 2:45 remaining in the first quarter.
And I'll say this. It looks like as though we have people in position to make plays. We're just missing tackles and allowing them to break plays on us.
I look out there and the rain has, again, it's more of a mist. It has picked up a little bit. Endicott takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer in the backfield. Pfizer goes up the middle. He crosses the 5-yard line. He's met at the goal line. The ball comes loose just before he crosses the end zone. We're waiting to see who has the ball. So far, we've not seen a signal. Is it a touchdown? Is it a fumble? It is a fumble. So the Central Warriors were able to force the ball loose. Kelly, I don't even think that's on the 1-yard line. That ball is closer to the end zone than it is the 1-yard line. But nonetheless, it keeps 6 points from going up on the board for Grundy. So the Warriors will take over 1st down and 10 with about 100 yards to their end zone.
It's on like the 1-inch line. I mean, we can't really see exactly how close it is, but from from where we're sitting, it looks as if the nose of the football is right on the goal line.
I'd say it'd be safe to say if this was a game on Saturday or Sunday, we'd be seeing a lot of replays of that to see if perhaps he was able to stretch that ball across the goal line. The official said he did not, and as I said, it benefits the Warriors, but now they got to drive the ball outside of their shadow of their own goalpost. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. Crabtree goes in motion. They hand it off. I believe that's to Matthew Boggs in the backfield. He won't pick up much, but Kelly, anything you can get in this position of the field, something. Looks like he's going to get about 3 yards. So, I mean, 2nd down and 7 now from the Warriors on their own 3.
That was actually a really good run there by Matthew Boggs. I was going to try to jump in ahead of you there and say, I bet you I know what this first play is going to be. It's going to be a quarterback sneak to try to get it out. But they chose to hand the ball off into the end zone. Matthew broke a tackle, got out, got about a 3-yard gain there. Now we got a little bit of breathing room anyway.
Yeah, a little bit of breathing room. They're going to say he's down at the 4-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 now from the Warriors on their own 4-yard line with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Crabtree goes in motion off the right. He has the ball. He breaks a tackle inside of his end zone. Again, on that jet sweep, Kelly, he took the handoff pretty much inside the end zone. He was met there. I believe it took a lot of effort by CJ and almost a diving effort to get that ball out of the end zone and not be a safety on the Warriors. I believe they're going to mark him down at just right at the 1-yard line. So it's probably going to go down as a loss of about 3 and bring up 3rd down and 10.
Very fortunate that CJ was able to get the ball out of the end zone there. Now it's 3rd and 9. The Warriors really need to get a couple of yards anyway to give their punter a little bit of breathing room here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, some room for the punter. You'd like to see, again, get the ball out across the 5-yard line, preferably. Ethan Mullins in the shotgun on this play. Let's see what the Warriors elect to do. He takes the snap. He drops back the pass. He throws it off the right-hand side to no one really in particular. There were 3 Warriors receivers somewhat in the vicinity. It was over the heads of 2 guys, about 5 yards short and about 5 yards left of another receiver. So the pass will fall incomplete. So, Kelly, now the fun begins. Central will now have to try to punt this ball away. We've mentioned last week, Ben Brickey was the punter last week. He's injured. The other Warriors punter is no longer with the team. So,
Peyton Rogers out there.
So Peyton Rogers is now set up to punt. Grundy's return man is inside of Warriors field. He's not even at the 50. And it is a high snap that goes through Rogers' hands, will actually go through the end zone. So, it's not going to be, good field position for Grundy at least to score a touchdown. Instead, it will be a safety on the missed snap that goes through the end zone. So, Kelly, here we are again. We talked about it last week against Grundy. Here we are again. The special teams game so far for the Warriors, especially with what seems to be the snapping. That wasn't even that. That was a shorter snap than normal. Perhaps the long snapper thought he had a little more room. He's used to snapping at 15 yards on the punt. He only had about 6 or 7 yards and just snapped it too high, and it goes out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, not ideal special teams play here by the Central Warriors the last 2 weeks. And, we talked about it early in the season. Football is offense, defense, and special teams. A lot of times we focus on the offense and the defense, but the special teams really can win and lose you football games.
So it'll be a free kick situation now for Central as they'll elect to free kick it off to Grundy. On the safety, the Warriors will kick it off now from the 20. Again, I believe the Warriors have the option of punting it or kicking it off. And as we said, without a true punter right now, at least one we've seen over the first 9 games, the Warriors will elect to kick it off with Peyton Rogers from the 20. Grundy has 2 return men standing back at the Warriors' 30-yard line. So Grundy, with a 2-point lead now, up 8-6, set up to get this football with pretty good field position here on this, drive here to close out the first quarter. Rogers kicks it. It's going to be received at the 32-yard line. Grundy crosses the 40, across the 45. The return man is number 24. He'll be forced out of bounds, not quite across the 50. He'll be taken down at the Central Warriors 47-yard line. Pretty good field position, Kelly, here for Grundy on this drive.
Yeah, we'll see if Grundy continues to pound the rock on the offensive side. They've had great success running the football. The Warriors defense is really going to have to step it up here, start making some more sure-handed tackles as this first quarter comes to an end.
So 1 minute and 3 seconds remain. Grundy takes a snap. Endicott sets the pass. He throws a little swing pass out to the right-hand side. It will hit the Grundy receiver. That's number 11, Jacob McCoy, in the hands. He's not able to come up with it. And Kelly, he was going to catch that pass about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He did have a few Central Warriors in pursuit. He was going to have to break a few tackles, make anything out of that.
And it looks like the official threw a flag, and then they waved the flag off. How many times have we seen that? My question on that is, if you have seen something, you throw the flag, what changes your mind?
Yeah.
What changes your mind there? I don't get it.
It was 1 week we saw that, at least a half a dozen times in a football game. Endicott this time again in the shotgun. He has 2 receivers out to his right. He's going to take the snap and hand it off to Pfizer, who runs out hard off the right-hand side. He crosses Warriors' 50-yard line. He crosses the 45-yard line. He's going to be brought down at about the Warriors' 43 to 44-yard line. It's going to be close to a first down. I believe he's going to be about a yard short. And Kelly, watching Pfizer run, he doesn't seem to really mess around. He gets that ball and he just hits the hole and goes. And he's quick. He's not extremely big, but he seems like he's going to be a tough guy to bring down as this game plays out.
Nothing fancy. He's just going north and south. They're opening up some holes, and he's hitting them, and he's running hard, and we're tackling too high right now.
In neither team, you talked about hitting some holes. Grundy doesn't have a exceptionally large offensive line. Again, especially compared to that Graham team we saw way back earlier in the season. Grundy takes the snap. It's a handoff again to Pfizer in the backfield. He's going to be met close to the first down because it's going to depend on the spot on this play. Looking at the far official, he's going to come up a little bit short, but the near official will be the one who will spot it. And I believe he's going to be about a half a yard short as the first quarter expires. And there's the official word. It will be 4th down and inches for Grundy as we begin the second quarter.
Yeah, this is going to be a big play in the first half of this football game for the Central Warriors to try to flip the field position here to begin the second quarter. Now, as we in the first quarter and go to the second quarter, we would like to mention that the current score is Grundy 8 and Central 6, courtesy of the safety that happened down in their own end zone there a couple plays ago.
Yeah, so far the safety is the deciding factor in the game. Again, tonight's game here between Grundy and Central is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. The England Consulting Group provides professional training, legal, and consulting services to local, state, and federal agencies. Our goal is to train 21st century leaders to be their best. We'd also like to thank Lonesome Pine Country Club, Morgan McClure Chevrolet in Coburn, Virginia, Shade Tree Landscaping, Evan Sturgill Photography, and the Heaters Baseball Club. Again, tonight's first down sponsor is Sturgill Sports Media. Again, we're set to begin the second quarter here at Central Warrior Stadium. We have a pivotal 4th down and goal situation. Endicott keeps it on the quarterback keeper, and he drags it out, and he's going to be pulled down in the backfield. He was met at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he had the first down on the initial push. He tried to bounce it out to the left and met no running room out there. In fact, it's going to go down as a 2-yard loss. So you mentioned it, Kelly, or the Central Warriors need to come up with some defensive stops, and there's a huge one on 4th down and inches.
That's a big momentum play. Great job there by the defensive line, getting some penetration on Endicott and able to bring him down. We had trouble doing that his first couple of carries. Good job there by the Warriors defense. Let's see if the offense can cash in with ball on their own 46-yard line.
Again, Endicott is a pretty tall wide receiver, so it wouldn't have taken much for him to be able to reach out and get that first down, but he was met right at the line of scrimmage. No push at all by the Grundy offensive line. Ethan Mullins now up under center. He takes the snap. He hands it off to, I believe that's Maddox Reynolds off the right-hand side. Yeah, actually it's C.J. Crabtree going in motion. He's going to be met just shy of midfield. It's going to be a gain of about 3. It's going to be a gain of 3, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 here for the Central Warriors right at midfield.
The Warriors are content to dance with the one who brought them, rely on that running game, and I expect this big offensive line to take control on this drive.
Central Warriors go up again in the huddle, waiting the play from Coach Owens on the sideline. They break the huddle. Again, the ball is right at midfield. They're going to mark it just shy of midfield here for the Warriors. Bring up 2nd down and 7. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree in motion. It's a fake to him. It's a pass to Lester on the right-hand side. Lester gets the ball across the 45-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 43-yard line. That's going to be a Central Warrior Sturgill Sports Media first down.
Just a little swing pass out to the right side, and the Warriors able to pick up a much-needed first down, moving into Grundy territory. The Warriors would be it would behoove the Warriors here to get the ball in the end zone. Behoove.
I'm going to break out my dictionary now and figure out what behoove means.
I used discombobulated a couple of weeks ago. So
just don't discombobulate, behoove me, I guess. The Warriors up under center. C.J. Crabtree in motion. It's going to be another pass play. This time it's going deep to Lester. The pass is going to come up short, and it will be intercepted by Grundy at the 17-yard line. The pass was intended for Lester, but will be picked off by number 11, Jacob McCoy, for the Golden Wave. So, Kelly, kind of surprising. We just got to mentioning that we're going to ride the horse that got us here with the running game, and then Central comes out and attempts 2 straight pass plays. It was one-on-one coverage, Lester and McCoy on the right-hand side, but unfortunately for the Warriors, the pass was just too short, and McCoy intercepts it, and Grundy has the ball back.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with taking a shot right there. The ball is just underthrown, maybe a little wet.
Endicott takes the snap. It's a pitch off to the right-hand side. Again, that is, Foster off the run there. He's going to get off the right-hand side out to about the 20-yard line, so it's going to be a gain of about 4 yards right there for Grundy, bringing up 2nd down and 6 with 10:40 left in the half.
Yeah, going back to that interception to play before, Ethan had time. It looked like the ball just kind of floated, maybe slipped out of his hand. Damon had a step on the corner. The ball just kind of floated on.
So 2nd down and 5, we'll call it here for Grundy with just under 10.5 remaining. Endicott takes the snap. He hands it off to the yup man. That's Keene off the right-hand side. He's going to be met pretty much at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a gain of about 1. So, Kelly, here we are again. Another key 3rd down and 4. The difference this time is the ball's well back on the Grundy side of the field, just at the 21-yard line. So if somehow the Central can get a quick stop right here, get the ball back, we can get good field position, getting just down by 2 points.
Just down by 2 points. When this game started, we thought we were going to have a shootout. Now it looks like it's going to be a low-scoring, slug-it-out kind of contest.
Well, we played 5 plays and had 2 touchdowns, and since then we've had probably close to 20 plays, if not more than that, with nothing to show for it. Pfizer on the run. He stretches it out to the left. He's going to sidestep a guy at the 25, and breaking that tackle at the 25-yard line is going to be enough to give him a 1st down. He'll finally be brought down just across the 30-yard line, so it's going to be a gain of about 9, and Grundy has the 1st down.
Yeah, we are having a really difficult time tonight setting the edge on the outside, and it seems like anytime the Grundy Golden Wave want to hit something out there, they're able to. So our defensive ends, outside linebackers, corners are going to have to step it up out here on the outside to set that edge.
Grundy has the ball on their own 31-yard line, 1st down and 10. Endicott again goes back up under center. A man goes in motion. Endicott takes the snap. It's a fake pitch. He's going to roll it off to his left, but I believe we had a false start penalty before that play, and yes, that's going to be the call. I thought I saw some movement on the right-hand side of the line right before the snap was made. The officials called that, and they're going to throw a flag. So it's going to make it 1st down and 15 now for Grundy at their own 26.
Very fortunate it was a false start, because had Endicott been able to keep that ball, the defensive end had been sucked down inside, he would have had a room to run.
Yeah, Grundy has ran that pitch play at toss play several times tonight. That one was a fake toss, and Endicott was going to bootleg it, probably keep it himself off the left-hand side, but the false start penalty will negate anything on that play. Endicott takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer in the backfield. He slips through, breaks a couple of tackles. Good hard run by Pfizer there as he gets across the 35. And Kelly, I've mentioned it, he doesn't really mess around a whole lot. Once he sees a hole, he hits it, and he's going to get what he can up that hole. Not a whole lot of dancing, not a whole lot of juking and jiving out there. He's just hitting the hole and going, and so far it's working for him.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, he's a north-south runner, and another good quality about him is he's breaking tackles. They're getting hands on him, but he's running through those.
So 2nd down and 5 now for Grundy at their own 36, and we're going to have another false start penalty. Grundy had a guy going in motion. The center snapped it. Endicott wasn't ready for the snap, and the center just sort of snapped it and kept the ball between his legs, and everybody just sort of stood there and watched. So they'll mark it back 5 yards, and so after all this, Kelly, we're right back to where we started this series at. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 now for Grundy at the 31.
Like the weather, this game's a little sloppy.
That is it. Endicott takes the snap, fakes it to 2 different guys. He goes off the right-hand side. He's got a lot of running room. He's across the 50. He's got a wall of blockers in front of him, too. He's across the 30, across the 20. He steps over a guy. He crosses the 10, crosses the 5. And, Kelly, that's going to be a 69-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Endicott. And just like that, with 8:13 left, it's going to be Grundy 14, Central Warriors 6.
We're just not setting the edge on the outside, and I just, if I can be honest here, they could run that play right now anytime they wanted, and they could get that result. He did not get – it looked like a punt return down the right sideline for him.
And, you had about 2 or 3 Central Warriors that, may have had a shot at tackling, but unfortunately for the Warriors, there's about 6 different Grundy guys out leading the blocking charge there. Endicott just kind of stayed in behind those blockers and was able to pretty much go in untouched. He did have the high step over a guy there to get into the end zone, but pretty much went in untouched thanks to that wall of blockers. Grundy sets over the extra point. The snap was high, but I believe they had a man come on the field late. They were not able to get the snap off before the play clock expired, so it's going to be a delay of game penalty for Grundy on the point after attempt, and that's going to be kind of hard to explain, Kelly. You just scored a touchdown, pretty much a point after is coming, and one guy was a little late getting on the field, and you get a delay of game penalty on the point after.
Could have been over on the sidelines eating some Skittles or maybe drinking some hot chocolate.
Some popcorn, some mini candy bars. Maybe a sub. It's hard telling. So now the extra point attempt will come from the 15-yard line. So it's going to be a 25-yard point after attempt. The snap is down. The kick is up. It's a low line drive kick that will squeak just inside the upright and just over the crossbar. That's a key extra point, Kelly, because Grundy was up by 8. That extra point puts them up by 9. And with 8:13 left here in the first half, Grundy now leads 15-6.
Yeah, it makes it a 2-score ball game. But let's remember the Warriors have been here before, as recently as last week when they trailed Gate City 14-0. So with 8:13 to go, down 9. This Warrior offense is going to have to do something here to shift the momentum in this game, because right now Uncle Mo is on the side of the Grundy Golden Wave.
We've seen it a lot this year too, Kellen. We've seen it here tonight. Again, Central had the ball. Score was tied at 6. They had the ball down inside the 20-yard line. Had a chance to, put that score on the board that would have given them the lead. But as we've seen several times throughout the season, Central sometimes doesn't have a lot of trouble moving it between the 20s, but once they get down inside the red zone, especially inside the 10, it seems like a lot of times, they're just not able to figure out the right offensive plays that will get them in the end zone, and they either settle for a field goal attempt or, as we've seen, here tonight, a turnover on downs, and, those points, could come back to hurt you tonight.
Definitely. When you get inside the red zone, you want to put points on the board. Hopefully, the offense, the kick return team's on the field. Maybe we can get back in the end zone here on this possession.
So the kick is going to be short. C.J. Crabtree tries to field it. It's going to ricochet off his hands. He's going to finally pick it up at about the 8-yard line. He crosses the 10. He's going off to his right-hand side. He finally gets it back out to the 15-yard line. Not exactly what Central had hoped to see, Kelly. And C.J. was standing at about the 10-yard line. He let the ball bounce at about the 12, about 2 yards in front of him. And then it ricocheted up over his head, so he had to retreat to pick it up. Found a little bit of running room, but, instead of good field position, the Warriors are actually backed up inside their own red zone here, all the way back at the 15.
Yeah, but they were very fortunate that ball wasn't turned over or that it didn't go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So CJ essentially able to make something out of nothing right there and put the Warriors with the ball on their own 15 as the offense takes the field.
So it's a pivotal drive. Again, 8:06 left here in the first half. The Central Warriors do get the ball to start the second half, so somehow they can mount a long drive right here and tack on a score. They would get the ball back in the second half. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion off his right-hand side. He takes the run. He's going to cross the 15 and be hit hard. That's Pfizer on the hit there, Kelly, the running back for Grundy. Pretty solid shot on C.J. as he came off the right-hand side. Crabtree does get it back across the 15 out near the 20. It's going to be a gain of only about 2, bringing up second down and 8.
When you talk about a kid like Pfizer, you just call him a football player. He seems to be all over the field. He's a tough young man and made a good tackle there on CJ. We're kind of getting away from the north and south and going a little more east and west here, not working out too good. 2nd and 7.
Again, Pfizer, the running back on the offensive side, he plays linebacker here on defense. And on that one, I believe he actually ran all the way from the right-hand side of the field to the left-hand side of the field. Play clock's down to 3, and Central is still in the huddle. Looks like Coach Owens is going to have to call a timeout right here and not lose the 5 yards on the delay of game penalty. So with 7:19 left here in the first half, the Grundy Golden Wave have a 15-6 lead. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. The England Consulting Group provides professional training, legal, and consulting services to local, state, and federal agencies. Our goal is to train 21st century leaders to be their best.
So Coach Owens uses a timeout there to save his team 5 yards, maybe even to settle them down just a little bit. We're kind of in a danger point in this football game. Another score by Grundy could really make things tough for this Warriors offense who have had a little trouble moving the football tonight. So this club just needs to settle down a little bit, get back to the basics, do what they're good at doing, run the football, get it up north and south, put the ball in CJ, Matthew Boggs, Maddox's hands, and see what can happen.
So the timeout is over. The Warriors break the huddle. Ethan Mullins in the shotgun as the Warriors set up for the second down and 8. There's a snap. It's a play action. It's a pass over the middle. It actually hit, I believe that's number 12, Maddox Reynolds, in stride, in the hands. It would have been a huge game for the Warriors, but unfortunately Reynolds could not come up with the catch. Good pass that time, Kelly, by Ethan Mullins. Hit Reynolds right where you needed to. Unfortunately for the Warriors, though, Maddox could not hang on to the pass.
Good play out of the timeout there by the Warriors. Maddox had split the defense, ran the skinny post down the middle of the football field. Ethan hit him right in the hands, and that's a bad place for a ball to hit you.
Yeah, if you're a receiver, you don't want the ball to hit you in the hands. Wait a minute. That ain't right.
You want it to hit you in the hands, but you want to catch it.
Yeah, you want to catch it. I was trying to be funny.
Yeah, maybe
our listeners got it. Yeah, okay. So it's third down and 8, 7:14 left. Warriors go in motion. It's going to be a handoff to C.J. Crabtree up the middle. He gets it out to looks like it's going to be right at about the 25-yard line, Kelly. That's not going to be enough for a first down. In fact, it's going to bring up a 4th down and 1. So some thinking here and some decisions to be made.
Coach Owens going to go for it down here on the sideline. Nothing to lose. Peanut may have said it there.
We've added a third commentator here to the booth. We need to get Peanut some headphones down there.
Here we go. 4th and 1. Warriors come to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 4th and 1. Warriors need to get a yard. They're at their own 25-yard line, so a huge yard to get right here by the Warriors. Ethan Mullins up under center. I think they're trying to draw Grundy off sides. It will not work, and instead, Coach Owens will elect to call his second timeout here of the half, giving the Warriors 1 timeout. So it looked like the decision there was to try to draw them off sides with the ice play. Let's see what Coach Owens elects to do now after the timeout. Again, a first down by the Warriors will be huge. They can keep the drive going. But if they don't get this 1 yard, Kelly, they'll be giving Grundy huge, great field position right here with the chance to put that extra touchdown up on the board that you talked about.
I'm looking out here in the offensive huddle, and I'm still not sure I've seen the punt team.
I see Peyton Rogers standing on the sideline, Kelly, number 89.
So we're going to go for this.
Go for it. Again, Coach Owens not shy to go with the big play, as we saw last week, elected to go for 2 in overtime, and it paid off. Grundy actually had a guy back here ready to receive the punt, and now he's realized we're going to go for it. Again, Ethan Mullins goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Boggs. He'll get the first down as he crosses the 25-yard line. Actually gets it out near the 30. So, again, he only needed about a yard. He only got about 4, but, again, that's going to be enough for a Sturgill Sports Media first down. It keeps this drive going with 6.5 left in the first half.
You want to mark that play down as a big play in this football game. Coach Owens with a gutsy call to go for it deep in his own end here, just down 9 in the first half.
So, again, that keeps the drive going. If nothing else, maybe the Warriors can extend this drive out a little bit. If nothing else, don't give Grundy the ball back here in the first half. Maddox Reynolds goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Matthew Boggs in the backfield. He finds some running room off the left-hand side. He's across midfield. He breaks a tackle. He's across the 30. He's down to the 20. He'll finally be chased down inside the 20 by a Grundy defender. It's going to be a gain of about 40 yards by Matthew Boggs. And now the Warriors are in business after that key 4th down conversion.
Here we go. We got the running game going. Big guys up front doing their job. Matthew Boggs gets in behind them, busts a big play. Warriors in business inside the 20.
So it's going to go down as about a 54-yard run right there by Matthew Boggs, taking it all the way down to the Grundy 17-yard line. Again, the Central Warriors trail 15-6. We have just right at 6 minutes left in the first half. Crabtree goes in motion. He takes the snap from Ethan Mullins. He spins and breaks a tackle. He's not going to find a whole lot of room, though, Kelly, off the right-hand side. Looks like he'll be brought down right at the 17. Oh, I'm thinking back. He crossed the 15. He's down to about the 13, so he found a little bit more room than I thought. He's going to get a gain of about 4 yards there.
Yeah, that was a real good job by CJ turning that ball up. He actually ran into one of his own players, but was able to squirm ahead, pick up about 4 yards there. So second and manageable here for the Central Warriors.
So the clock's still rolling here in the first half. We're down to 5:33 left in the first half. Again, Warriors trailing 15-6, but they are driving. They have the ball on the Grundy Golden Wave 13-yard line, second down and 6. Ethan Mullins up under center. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Maddox Reynolds, who came in motion off the right-hand side. He's going to get it down to about the 10. We see a late flag come in right there at the end of the play. It was pretty late. It looked like Reynolds was already brought down, and then one of the back just threw the flag. Let's see what the flag is. It's going to be a personal foul face masking penalty, so that'll give the Warriors an automatic first down, and we'll mark it off halfway to the goal. So here we are, Kelly, inside the 10-yard line. Central trailing by 9, needing this 6 points.
Yeah, it's a good, tough run there by Maddox. Fortunately, got the face mask there at the end of the play. So now the Warriors have it on about the 5-yard line. Look for a steady dose of Matthew Boggs and C.J. Crabtree here inside the 5.
Again, 5:15 left in the first half. The clock is running. Warriors have the ball on the Grundy Golden Wave 5-yard line. Again, they trail by 9 here in the first half. Ethan Mullins up under center. Maddox Reynolds goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff up the middle by Matthew Boggs. He'll find a little bit of running room, but he'll fall just shy of the end zone. They're going to bring him down inside the 3, mark him down at the 2-yard line. So that'll make it second down and goal for the Warriors at the 2-yard line. And if nothing else, Kelly, what that play does is it eats up a little bit more time. You know, the touchdown, obviously it isn't a guarantee, but the longer you can, stall this drive out, the less time Grundy's going to have to score before the half.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. And we're going to see what Central does here on second down inside the 5. Looks like Mullins is going to go under center on this second down play.
So under 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. Maddox Reynolds goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to C.J. Crabtree up the middle. He's going to get the 2 yards that he needs. That's a Central Warriors touchdown. And with 4 minutes and 19 seconds, it's now Grundy 15, the Central Warriors 12.
Yeah, the Warriors had run that counter play all night to Maddox Reynolds, and that time they ran it to the backside to C.J. Crabtree, and he was able to stick the nose of the football over the goal line, and that's a touchdown for the Warriors, and it looks like the offense will stay on the field here as we try for the 2-point conversion.
We've mentioned some of the troubles the special teams has had for Central over the last couple of weeks. Again, tonight we've already seen a bad snap on a punt that went through the end zone that resulted in a safety. So with the score 15-12, Coach Owens will elect to go for 2. It's a pitch play to the left-hand side to Matthew Boggs. He had one guy to beat. He was not able to do so. Pretty good tackle right there by Grundy in the open field. Boggs tried to run over the guy, but he'll bring him down at about the 2-yard line. So the 2-point conversion will fail. So, again, with 4:19 left here in the first half, Central Warriors trail by 3, 15-12.
Big drive there by the Central Warriors. They got back to their power running game, and it was all on the legs of Matthew Boggs and C.J. Crabtree. So much needed drive there for the Warriors, puts them back within a field goal. And so now we got ourselves a ball game here, Chris. Another good one from Warrior Stadium.
Again, if you just tuned in and missed us on the pregame, this is a huge game for the Central Warriors. A win tonight clinches a spot in the Division II VHSL playoffs, which will begin next week. A loss tonight, and the Warriors' season will be over. So as we mentioned, it was a key offensive drive right there by the Warriors, but now just as important is going to be this defensive stand. Again, Grundy's going to have the ball with plenty of time, 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in the half. And I mentioned earlier that Central does get the ball to start the second half. You'd like to see, down just 3 going to the second half, or best case scenario, Kelly, for the Warriors, get a quick stop here, maybe get the ball back, but you can't get too far ahead of yourself with that.
Yeah, let's get a stop here. Let's get a 3 and out, get the ball back, try to get some points on the board before the half.
So the Warriors set up to kick it off. Peyton Rogers comes up to the ball, gauges it, makes sure it's the right height. Again, 2 Grundy return men stand at about their own 15-yard line. It's going to be a short pooch kick to the up man. Number 45 calls a fair catch, receives the catch, and it's going to be a penalty. Didn't quite see who it was on the tackle. There's 2 guys there. It's either number 44, I think it's Logan Mullins, maybe number 20, Matthew Boggs. Not quite sure which one was on the tackle. But it was a short pooch kick that Grundy received at the 43-yard line. The receiver threw his hand up to signal fair catch, caught the ball, and I guess the Warriors defender didn't see the hand go up and tackled the guy as soon as he caught it. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So that's going to push Grundy on the penalty across midfield into Central Warriors territory. Going to make this stop even tougher now for the Warriors.
Yeah, big penalty there on the kickoff. Of course, if you're going to do something, do it right. And the kid who got the foul called on him really laid the kick returner out.
Yeah, so Endicott takes the snap at the play action. He looks to his right to throw. He's going to go up deep. He's got a man deep. The pass is going to be incomplete. Pretty good defense right there by the Warriors. Again, the Warriors secondary was beat. Pass was slightly underthrown. The Grundy receiver had a tough time finding the ball. It gave time for the Warriors defender to catch up. And Kelly, I look on the field, I see a penalty flag on the play. So let's see what this is going to be.
Yeah, flags everywhere, but on the play, Endicott rolled to his right, had a receiver wide open. Ethan Mullins did a great job of closing ground on the receiver, and it looks like this penalty is going to go against Grundy.
Was that an illegal man downfield? Not exactly sure what the penalty call was. They're going to mark it back. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell who it was. You said it was Ethan Mullins on the defense. I couldn't quite see, but again, good job closing out and at least distracting the receiver just enough. It looked like he almost came up with the circus catch, but it did fall to the turf incomplete. So Grundy looking to take a shot there on first down here on this drive. We have 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Grundy has the ball first down and 15 at the Warriors' 48-yard line. Endicott fakes the snap. It's actually the Pfizer instead who runs hard up the middle. He crosses the 45-yard line, is going to get it out to about the Warriors' 40-yard line. So he'll cross the original line of scrimmage. He'll pick up about 3 more yards on top of that. So it's going to bring up second down and 7 as the clock runs to under 4 minutes.
I got to tell you, there's going to be some awfully sore Central Warrior defensive football players in the morning because these Grundy running backs run the ball extremely hard.
You know, it goes back to that play we mentioned there before the game when Pfizer ran over the player from the Raiders, John I. Burton.
Yeah.
We're now seeing why and how he was able to do that. Endicott in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He looks to pass. It's going to be a screen pass off the right-hand side. Pretty good job by the Warriors defense. Well, if it was for a second, but he breaks the tackle, Kelly. He gets it across the 30-yard line. And, Kelly, you just got to say that right there. You either got to give the Grundy receiver credit or you got to blame that on the Central Warriors. They had him brought down 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Instead, it's going to go as about a 15-yard gain. I mean, he had him by the legs and couldn't bring him down.
It's the theme of the first half. We've had trouble tackling, and that's another example of it there. The DB broke on the ball just like he should, had him dead to rights. Grundy player just slipped a tackle, got downfield for a big first down.
And what I failed to mention is the Warriors had another guy coming in for the tackle, and they still didn't bring him down. This time, Endicott keeps it on the shotgun snap. He breaks a tackle, but it looks like this time the Warriors will bring him down. It was a run off the left-hand side. They'll bring him down, but not until he gets about 4 yards. So with 3:10 left, Grundy will have the ball second down and 6 at the Warriors' 25.
Endicott is a horse. I mean, there's about 7 black shirts on him right there to get him on the ground. I'm telling you, if I'm Grundy, I just give the ball to that guy, let him run it.
And Endicott is he's a tall, slender-looking quarterback, but he's been tough and shifty to bring down. He's one of the taller guys as we look out there on the field. He's one of the taller guys Grundy has out there. This time he goes in the shotgun. It's a high snap. He's going to keep it himself. He fakes it to Pfizer. He rolls off to his right. He crosses the 25-yard line, lowers his shoulder, but will be forced out of bounds. Kelly, it looks like they're going to mark him out at about the 13 – it's going to be the 23-yard line. It's going to bring up a huge third down and short here with 2:39 left in the half.
2:39 to go here in the first half. But, again, Grundy has all 3 timeouts remaining. Third and manageable here for the Golden Wave. Look for Pfizer or Endicott to play a big role here.
It'll be third down and 3 for Grundy at the Warriors' 22-yard line. Endicott in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer to his left. He's going to be met in the backfield, though, Kelly. This time he's going to be rolled down. I think they're going to bring him down right back at the line of scrimmage. He was met in the backfield, but the tackle carried him forward back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to make it 4th down and 3. So, as we said, a huge defensive drive here for the Warriors. Can they come up with this 4th down stop with the clock down to 2:15?
That was another good play there by Devin Dingus, the defensive tackle for the Warriors. Now it's a big 4th and 3 here for the Grundy Golden Wave.
So, Grundy has the ball 4th down and 3 from the Warriors' 22-yard line. Endicott in the shotgun. It's a high snap. It's over his head.
You got to get him on the ground.
He breaks the first tackle. He fumbled it again, Kelly. He bobbled the snap again. He actually broke the first tackle. Can't quite tell. I think it was number 55, I believe, on the initial hit. Again, it's kind of hard to see these numbers. It's either 55 or 65. Again, the snap was over Endicott's head. It chased him back 10 yards. He picked it up and looked like he might be able to make something out of it. But finally, the Warriors were able to meet him. Endicott fumbled it and bobbled it again. And now, Kelly, things have shifted with exactly 2 minutes left here in the half. The Warriors now have the ball at the 38-yard line. So the fumble carried Grundy back 16 yards. So not only did the Warriors get the stop, but they got some yards as well on that play.
First of all, the Warriors catch a break on that 4th down on the bad snap. Great play there by Isaiah Reynolds, getting Endicott on the ground, something we've not done all night. Now the Warriors with 2 minutes, 1 timeout. Let's see what the offense can drum up here.
From what we've seen, 2 minutes is enough time to score about 4 touchdowns, as we saw when this game first started. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion on the jet sweep to the right. He's going to slip and fall in the backfield. He's going to slip at the 35, so it's going to be a 3-yard loss. So not exactly the first down play the Warriors had hoped for. With the clock now at 1:45, it's going to make it 2nd down and 13 for the Warriors at their own 35-yard line.
And that's a tough break there for Central because C.J. did have the edge there on the corner, just slipped down. Now, with that loss on 1st down, you would think the Warriors would try to eat the clock here and run it out before halftime.
But again, Grundy has 3 timeouts if they choose to. Maybe they want to try to do something before the half is over. Ethan's going to drop back the pass, and he was hit just as he threw. And Kelly's fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted. It came up about 5 or 10 yards short of its intended target. Number 85 on that play for Grundy, Richard Owens, wonder if he's in relation to Coach Owens, had a chance on the ball, but it slipped through his hands. So Central does not decide to eat up the clock. Instead, they try to throw it. So the clock will stop now with 1:21 left in the half. So if the Warriors don't pick up his first down, Grundy will get the ball back with quite a few timeouts and some time left. The Warriors break the huddle. Again, Ethan Mullins goes up under center for this play. He surveys the defense. Maddox Reynolds goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Matthew Boggs in the backfield. He's going to be met on the run up the middle. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Kelly, the play takes 4 seconds, and just as I predicted, Grundy will call its first of 3 timeouts. So with 1minute and 17 seconds left, Grundy will get the ball back. And if Central elects to punt, we've tried 1 punt tonight, and it didn't exactly work very well.
It didn't turn out well for Central. So, the snap, the catch, and the kick are going to be big. Grundy, let's go back to Grundy for a second. Grundy, known as a big wrestling school. They have tons of state championships in wrestling. On that previous play, one of their defensive linemen took big Tanner Hensley, junior offensive lineman for Central, threw him about 15 yards down the field, kind of hip tossed him. Tanner's a big dude.
Good hip toss reference. I mean, you're breaking out the wrestling terms now.
It was a hip toss. Ready to see Roddy Piper over on the other sideline over there.
Maybe the wrong type of wrestling if you're talking about there. Wrestling. All right.
Wrestle.
So now the Warriors break the huddle. They will elect the punt. It's going to be a fake punt. Warriors are going to throw it up, and it's going to fall incomplete. The snap was to the up man for the Central Warriors. I believe that was number 6, Kelly. That's A.J. Kennedy. The snap was to the up man. So, we've talked about it. The special teams are obviously a concern for Coach Owens tonight. That was a position of the field where it's clearly you just need to punt the ball as far as you can and maybe hope you can stop Grundy. Now you've given them the ball back on the Warriors' 39-yard line, and with 1minute and 12 seconds and 2 timeouts left, I got to question that call, Kelly. We don't question a lot, but that one leaves me scratching my head. Endicott takes the snap. He fakes it to Pfizer. He has some running room off the left. He's got some blockers. He crosses the 25. He's finally going to be drugged down at the 20-yard line. The clock will stop on that 19-yard gain. We have 1minute and 3 seconds left here in the first half. Again, Grundy leads 15-12, and now they have the ball right at just outside, maybe right at the red zone. Still plenty of time for Grundy to tack on some more points here before the half.
Plenty of time, and the Warrior defense still having a real tough time setting that edge, especially when Endicott runs the football. I'm telling you, Chris, I'd probably just let him carry this thing on in.
Clock is down to 52 seconds. Endicott in the shotgun. He takes a step. There's a penalty flag. I believe it's going to be a false start penalty. It is. A false start penalty on Grundy will move them back 5 yards. So instead of the 20, it's going to move them back to the 25-yard line. Again, we have 50.1 seconds remaining here in the first half. Central electing not to punt on that last 4th down. Now they need a defensive stop to keep Grundy from scoring points here before the half.
Grundy really trying to bail us out with some penalties down here in Warrior territory.
Endicott in the shotgun. He's waiting as the man goes in motion. He takes the snap. He looks to pass. The guy that was in motion is the receiver. He throws it up deep to the right-hand side. It hits him in the hands, and that's been the theme of the night with some of these receivers. It's been the worst place to hit him at. It hit him right in the hands. It was an easy touchdown. And the pass was the number 24, Caden Vanover. All he has to do is make the catch, and Grundy has 6 points. He was the guy that went in motion from the left-hand side all the way across, but couldn't come up with the catch.
Busted coverage there in the Warriors secondary. Fortunately, the ball hits him in the hands and bounces right out of his hands onto the turf. Now, granted, the ball is a little cold tonight. Hands are a little cold, so you're going to get some of that.
Some of these pass plays that we.
But with the gloves today, you don't have
a lot of these should be caught. Caught in the shotgun. It's going to be a shovel pass. He throws it to number 11. He goes off the right-hand side, Kelly. He breaks a tackle. He's inside the 5-yard line. There is a flag on the field. We'll have to wait and see what it is. Grundy gets the ball all the way down to the 3-yard line. The flag's at the 20. Kelly, I see a symbol of holding, and it's going to be on Grundy. So another huge penalty that goes in the favor of the Warriors.
We talked about Grundy being a wrestling school. They just used their hands on that play, and you cannot do that on the offensive side of the football.
Again, that was a shovel pass to number 11, Jacob McCoy. Again, another quick. Again, what these guys they're not necessarily, I won't say they're blazing fast, but when they hit the hole, they go.
Yeah, they're up the field.
Yeah. Once they find where they want to go, they shoot up that way, and then you gotta hang on and catch them. And once you catch them, you got to hang on and bring them down. And that's been a problem so far for the Warriors tonight. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 20 for Grundy with the ball all the way back on the 30-yard line. So Grundy started this drive they started on the 39-yard line, advanced it all the way to the 20. Now they march back to the 30. We have 35.4 seconds left, and we have a timeout on the field. I believe Central calls a timeout to maybe rest up, settle the defense a little bit. Again, this is a pivotal defensive stand here for the Warriors going into the half.
Yeah, this is a huge part of this football game here with 35.4 seconds to go in the first half. This Warrior defense you kind of get the feeling they're just kind of holding on out here.
Bend, not break. If we can just bend right here, we'll take a bend. Just don't break. One thing I like to mention, Kelly, we mentioned before the game, I do see some cheerleaders now. Some cheerleaders have shown up here to show them. Another high snap over Endicott's head. He's going to pick it up. He's all the way back to the 50. Right. He's finally going to be tripped up all the way back on the Warriors' side of the field. And I'm going to be willing to bet that might be the last play of the half. And as soon as I say that, Grundy calls another timeout. So with 24.7 seconds, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And, Kelly, I can't do the math right there. It looks like it's going to be a 3rd down and about 45 yards with the ball all the way back now on Grundy's 45-yard line.
Not a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 45. As I say that, I look up Isaiah Reynolds, who was in on that tackle for the Warriors. He kind of twisted his knee, his ankle, something on that tackle, has limped off of the field with the aid of an assistant coach. It looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. This is senior night. Isaiah is one of those seniors, so you really hate to see that. But back here on the field now, 3rd and 44, don't let anybody behind you. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Isaiah. We hope the best. And this is his senior night, his last home game in a Central Warrior, or at least here at Central Warrior Stadium. Again, Grundy elected to call a timeout there with 24 seconds left. It's 3rd down and 44 now, all the way back on the Warriors' 46-yard line. Grundy takes the snap. Endicott does. He hands it off to Pfizer. He breaks it up the middle. He'll cross the 50-yard line, where he'll be brought down just across midfield at the 48-yard line. I'll look up at the clock, Kel, and it continues to run. I believe Grundy is going to elect to take it into the half. Again, the clock now down to 7-6. That appears to be the case. The referee signals the play clock into play, and with 1 second on the clock, there's the double zeros. And, Kelly, that's the end of the first half. One half of football in, Kelly. We saw some fireworks out early, but, we talked about there some bend, not break. Grundy breaking off some big plays, but, a big offensive drive by Central there to end the half, a big defensive stop. And here we are at the half, Grundy leading 15-12.
Grundy leading 15-12. And if you're a Central Warrior right now, you have to feel very, very fortunate that gap isn't wider. But, again, the Warriors will get the ball to start the second half. Here we are. I think if you would have told any Central Warrior football player before the year started that you're in the final week of the regular season, a playoff berth is on the line, you're down 3 at halftime at home, I think every one of them would have took that and said, okay,
Yeah.
We got a half of football to play. We can win the football game. We can advance to the VHSL playoffs, and that would be a big step for this football team. It'd be a good big step for this football program. Last week they go in down 14-0. They made some adjustments, came out in the second half, really dominated the second half against Gate City. Let's see if they go in here at halftime, make some halftime adjustments, come out. Again, just like last week, the Warriors will get the football first to start the second half.
Yeah, as you mentioned, again, the Warriors, here they are. We have one half of football. They're in this ball game. They trail by 3. And when you look back at how some of this game played out, and it could very easily be a Warriors lead, or maybe even be closer than that. Just to recap what we've seen so far here in the first half, this game started with some huge fireworks. Grundy took the opening kickoff, and after a few missed tackles, they broke a pretty good return, got the ball out across midfield, and it took 2 plays for Grundy to punch it into the end zone. Pfizer broke a big run, and just like that, 2 plays in and 59 seconds into the game, Grundy had a 6-0 lead. They would miss the extra point. Central got the ball back, and just as Grundy did, it did not take Central long. It did take Central 3 plays. It was a 37-yard touchdown run by C.J. Crabtree on the jet sweep off the right-hand side that tied this game up, and we were just about 3.5 minutes in, and it was 6-6. Just as Grundy had done, Central missed the extra point. Neither team would score on their next possession. In fact, Grundy got the ball all the way down to the goal line where a fumble occurred, and Central recovered the fumble just inside the 1-yard line, keeping this game tied at 6. Central was unable to move the ball outside their own end zone. In fact, it took a great effort by C.J. Crabtree to avoid a safety on the second down run and dive out of the end zone. Central would have to elect to punt on a 4th down and 10 from, again, the 1-yard line. The Warriors snap went high and through the hands of punter Peyton Rogers and went out of the back of the end zone, and the impending safety gave Grundy the 8-6 lead. On that next drive, Grundy would not need much time. A 69-yard run by quarterback Derek Endicott, and the extra point was good for Grundy. And just like that, Grundy had a 15-6 lead just into the second quarter. The Central Warriors were able to battle back. They got the ball back with about 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Actually had a 4th down and short situation at about their own 25-yard line. Coach Owens elected to go for it. Again, this is a do-or-die game for the Warriors. Coach Owens went for it. Matthew Boggs picked up the first down on about a 4-yard run. It kept the drive alive. The Warriors were able to extend that drive out, and were finally able to punch it in on a Matthew Boggs short run that made it 15-12. Central Warriors then elected. I'm sorry, was it C.J. Crabtree on the run, or was it Matthew Boggs? Was it Boggs on the run? It was actually C.J. Crabtree. There went 5 weeks and finally failed the halftime recap rundown. It was C.J. Crabtree on the 4-yard run that made it 15-12. The Warriors would elect to go for 2 after some kicking debacles that we've seen the last 2 weeks. Matthew Boggs would be kept out of the end zone on the 2-point conversion, and the score remained 15-12. Grundy got the ball back with about 4 minutes left. Weren't able to do a whole lot with it. Central was able to take possession and had a very questionable call during the drive with just under 2 minutes left. The Warriors had the ball 4th and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Clearly a punting situation for the Warriors, but again, we've mentioned the kicking game has not exactly been pristine over the last few weeks. The Warriors tried a fake punt from their own 39-yard line, and the pass fell incomplete, and Grundy had the ball with just over a minute left and pretty good field position for a score. Fortunately for the Warriors, Grundy would shoot themselves in the foot with several penalties on the drive. And finally, the play that really capped off the drive was a high snap by Grundy that sailed over Endicott's head and actually traveled all the way back across midfield, setting Grundy up for 3rd down and I think 44 on the drive. So that's how the half would end. Grundy would run one more play and elect to let the clock run out. And that's how we've gotten to this 15-12 score. Kelly mentions a lot of time momentum, and right now you'd have to assume Central has the momentum. In their last offensive drive, one of the last offensive drives, they were able to punch it in for a touchdown that cut the lead to 15-12, and then Grundy had plenty of time to score, but the Warriors' defense stepped up and kept them out of the end zone. And as we've said, Central will have the ball to start the second half.
Central will have the ball to start the second half. We'll see what kind of halftime adjustments that Coach Owens and his staff makes. promises to be an entertaining second half here at Central Warrior Stadium. Chris, we've done this is our 5th game, and 3 out of 5 games that we have brought to you via Sturgill Sports Media have been very exciting contests, starting out week 1 with Eastside, last week against Gate City, and now here tonight in the season finale against Grundy.
And one thing to note about those close games is they've both been Central Warriors victories. Again, that Eastside game, I think the Central Warriors ended up winning by about 14 points. And then last week's overtime thriller there against Gate City. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. The England Consulting Group provides professional training, legal, and consulting services to local, state, and federal agencies. Our goal is to train 21st century leaders to be the best, to be their best. First down sponsor tonight is Sturgill Sports Media. This game is also brought to you by Lonesome Pine Country Club, Morgan McClure, Coburn, Virginia, Shade Tree Landscaping, Evan Sturgill Photography, and the Heaters Baseball Club. If you'd like to get in contact with us tonight or at any time, you can get in contact with us on Twitter at Sturgill S Media and at Warrior Nation Blog. That's WATN Blog. You can also email us at warriornationblog@gmail.com. Again, here at Sturgill Sports Media, we look forward to bringing you more broadcasts and need plenty of sponsors, as, again, basketball season is just on the horizon. I believe official practice starts Monday for both the boys and the girls seasons. And then once the spring rolls around, we'd love to bring you guys some softball and baseball action. Again, I'd also like to give another shout-out to the girls cheerleading squad. I'm sure plenty of those people, if they haven't arrived at Richmond by now, are probably sitting there listening to us right now on their phones or their mobile devices, keeping up with what's going on as the Central Warriors cheerleading squad is competing in the state cheer competition, believed to be held tomorrow at Richmond.
Also give a shout out to the Central Warriors 1-act team for winning the district championship yesterday. So a lot of championships, a lot of meaningful stuff happening around Central High School, and that's a good sign for the school. It brings a lot of school spirit, and I know the students get behind one another. I noticed today, Chris, on Twitter, as the cheerleaders left, the school lined up and cheered for them as they marched through the line, doing a cheer of their own, and got on the bus with their
a
cheer for the cheerleaders, who cheered right back and got on the bus with some cheer signs and took off to their final competition of the year. Best of luck to those girls up there at state. A lot of times, I saw them practicing one day. We had a little basketball shoot around in the gym, and they kind of came in after we were over. Those girls work really hard. And, I saw them getting ready for practice and begin practicing, and it's not normal what you would probably think of as a cheerleading practice. They really work hard.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the inaugural season, at least for the Warriors, in the cheerleading competition. It's not just what you would see at a football or basketball game. This is more of what you would see, broadcast on TV, where there's actually, a lot of, I'm going to test my cheerleading knowledge here, a lot of stunts, a lot of flips,
a
lot of flips. A lot of tossing of people in the air, tumbles, and all that stuff. Again, it's more of a judging competition, right. I suppose. Kind of gymnastics meets cheerleading, right. Kind of a mashup there. So again, good luck to those girls tomorrow. And just a quick shout out, just so we include everyone. The 7th and 8th grade middle school basketball teams kicked off their regular seasons in a game last night against Eastside. Both the girls and boys middle school teams were victorious over Eastside at Coburn Middle School yesterday. Both teams winning rather handedly over the Eastside Spartans.
That's exactly right. It was, I will speak from the girls' side since my daughter Jaden Foster plays for the middle school girls team. They had a great game last night against Eastside. A lot of girls contributed. All the girls actually contributed last night. Played some good defense, played some good offense, and came away with a victory, a good-sized victory over the Eastside Spartans. They return to action tomorrow here at Central High School beginning at 10 a.m.
Yeah, and again, I'll speak for the boys' side because my son Robbie plays on the boys' middle school team, and the boys' side jumped out to a nice 22-1 lead in the first half and then kind of rode that to victory. I believe the final score of the boys' game wound up being 40-16 over the Spartans of Eastside. So, nice shout out to Brad Jett, the coach of the girls team, exactly. And Coach Danny Sifford, who is coaching the boys middle school team. The Central Warriors band, under the direction of Mr. Ben Harding, is wrapping up their halftime performance We're down to just under 5 minutes left here in the half. And again, a good quick shout out here to the band tonight for their performance.
Yeah, and one more thing, since we're talking about all things Central Warriors here at halftime, I do want to make mention that tomorrow is a especially big day for our Central Warriors youth football program, as our 9 and 10-year-olds travel to Gate City to play Lynn Garden Lynx in the Tri-Cities Youth Football League's championship game. This is the Warriors' first year in the Tri-Cities Youth Football League, and our 9 and 10-year-olds, all of our youth football teams had fantastic seasons. This was our first year in that league. They all had great seasons. But tomorrow, the 9 and 10-year-old club has advanced to the championship game, which will take place at Gate City beginning at 4:30 tomorrow. So I would like all of our Central Warrior Nation to think about our boys tomorrow around 4:30. If you can come out, show some support over there at Gate City. It promises to be an entertaining day. Those kids have worked really hard. We had a practice this evening before I came here. They're ready to go. So I want to wish those guys good luck tomorrow as we go try to bring another championship back to Wise and Pound.
So, yeah, good luck to those young football players. Again, good luck to the Central Warriors cheerleading squad, and good luck to the middle school basketball teams, who will all be in competition tomorrow. We have just under 3.5 minutes left here in the half, and Kelly, we've kind of ran ourselves short here, but this has kind of become the highlight of the evening now, which has been our halftime conversations, especially over the last 2 home games. We've talked about homecoming festivities and prom proposals, and then last week we got we dug really deep into Halloween candy. That was a rather entertaining conversation. We've floated around a few ideas. I've actually talked to several people. I'm sure we got plenty of listeners here waiting for us to chime in. And I brought up 3 topics today, and we're going to run through these quickly. So here's what I've brought up. We're in the holiday season. We just finished off Halloween. We're getting closer to Thanksgiving, and Christmas just around the corner. It'll be here before you know it. So the 3 topics I've kind of had here, and like I said, we'll weigh on these really quickly. Number 1 is, what is the most overrated holiday? What holiday would you consider to be overrated? So let's touch on that one real quick. Most overrated holiday.
I'm going to have to go with, what am I going to go with?
Well, I'm going with New Year's. I think New Year's is highly overrated. I'm old now. I can't stay up late. I don't do the countdown, and there's no big deal to me about New Year. I think it's overrated.
I'm going to have to say Labor Day. Labor Day would be my overrated holiday. You get a day off work. And that's cool and all, but it's just a day off work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've talked to Steve. We got several listeners tonight. I know I've got a bunch of people who's chimed in. Get this, I've got, I've brought in some female listeners from work. I've brought them in through our conversations. Get this, I have several of our female coworkers, Kelly, who say Valentine's Day is highly overrated. They have informed me, and so if you're a guy listening at home right now, take notes. This is coming from females. They have said that they would rather you plant flowers or vacuum the house than to get them flowers.
I will speak for myself and say the vacuuming the house thing is absolutely true. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure my wife is probably at home listening right now. She usually listens while she cleans the house, but I am going to say that the vacuuming will be saved for me when I get home.
Yeah,
and I will be appreciated for that.
Yeah, so the consensus from a lot of the listeners has been that Valentine's Day, oddly enough, is overrated. So the next conversation that has some people that already chimed in on, I put this topic out on Twitter, and some people have already chimed in. And since we're broadcasting sports, what is a sports event that needs to be considered a holiday? We need the day off, or we need time off because of a sporting event that just needs us to be away from work.
I'm going to take this first one, because I know you've got one too. But I'm going to say the Monday after the Super Bowl, we got to have a day off. Super Sunday is one of the biggest days, if not the biggest day of the sports year. Even if you're not a football fan, you watch the Super Bowl, you attend the Super Bowl party, if nothing else, just for the food and for the conversation and those kinds of things. The Super Bowl usually gets started around 6:30, usually doesn't end till around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Yeah. So that would be mine.
And on that same topic, J.W. Sayers, the head baseball coach at Central, and now the one of the assistant athletic directors here at Central, his wife Amber Sayers actually agreed with that. She said that the football game either needs to be played on Saturday, or if the Super Bowl is going to be on Sunday, we need Monday off.
Got to have Monday off.
And Amber also mentioned this, and this is something we talked about at school the other day, the Thursday and Friday of March Madness. No work.
It's hard to beat.
No work gets done on those days anyway.
They have a boss button for your computer.
Yeah. I mean, I work hard. I have never in my life wasted any hours of work watching March Madness. Those Thursday and Friday games, I just record them on the DVR, and I wait till I get home. I have never missed any work. I am a work first kind of guy.
I'm going to say this. I watch it every year. It's always on. I'm not going to tiptoe around it. When the tip goes off at 12:10, I have it on.
All right.
I'm watching.
That's you. Okay. That's you. And something, on that same topic for me, I've always been partial to baseball, opening day of the baseball season, especially for me. I'm a Reds fan, and opening day as a Cincinnati Reds fan, regardless of how good or bad the team is always a special day. The Reds are always open in the season at home. They always get a home game. They have a parade in Cincinnati on opening day. For several years, if I wasn't at the game, I would take the day off and watch it on TV because it was the start of baseball season. I'm not catching what Peanut's saying. What's Peanut saying? Columbus Day. So Columbus Day is your most overrated holiday, and what was the other one? The sports? Oh, okay.
Peanut trying to give a little historical context.
Yeah, so he's bringing up history.
Columbus Day.
And I'll give a shout out to Brian Sturgill because this will be close to his heart. He hasn't chimed in yet, but I know he's at home listening. So, Brian Sturgill, this is what you brought up to me today, and this is the last of our holiday-themed questions. What is, and you got to exclude turkey, what is the best Thanksgiving, we'll have to just call it best Thanksgiving side dish? Thanksgiving just around the corner. What is a food that is a must-have at Thanksgiving?
Green beans.
Green beans. For me, it's probably just something simple, just mashed potatoes. Would it be a Thanksgiving meal without mashed potatoes? Here's the thing with me. I go to my wife's family on Thanksgiving, and what has become a big hit at my wife's Thanksgiving dinner, and oddly enough, I make it, and I don't make a whole lot, and you might know where I'm going with this, Kelly. Jalapeno poppers. The jalapeno poppers that I make have become a huge hit. In fact, my wife has an aunt who lives in South Carolina, and also, granted, my wife has a chef that is a pretty big famous chef, and she has a chef that's a chef. She has a family member that's a chef, and she comes in and she says the highlight of her Thanksgiving is my jalapeno poppers.
Hey, I'm telling you. Speaking from experience, those things are very good.
They are very good. They are. I'm actually making some.
My only thing would be this: if your family doesn't celebrate the traditional Thanksgiving with the Thanksgiving turkey, maybe they eat steak, French fries, baked potatoes.
It's a turkey, and for me, I've become partial of the grilled turkey, the deep fried turkey. I guess
pretty good.
The deep fried turkey.
Absolutely.
Sally, my wife Sally, I think she's actually listening at home tonight. Love you, Sally. Thank you for letting me do this. I'm having a ball. Second half is now underway. We've killed that off, and Grundy kicks it off. It's received at the 15-yard line by the Warriors by Matthew Boggs. He gets it across the 30 out the right-hand side. He's across the 35, breaks a few tackles, carries a few guys with him across the 40. Central will take possession at the 43-yard line here in the second half, again trailing 15-12.
A few scores that came in over halftime. At the half, Union leads John Battle 6-0, and John I. Burton over Thomas Walker 20-0.
And again, just to confirm, my wife actually is listening. She just said she loves me as well. So thank you, baby.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. And if I could share the story about her scaring me to death this morning, the love may or may not be mutual. She scared me in the dark this morning as I was getting ready for work. And that's another story for another day. So Central Warriors break the huddle. Ethan Mullins up under center. CJ Crabtree in motion. Mullins fumbles the snap. He's able to pick it up, but he's going to go backwards a few yards. We saw that a few times in the first half, Kelly. 3 fumbles on snaps, 1 by Central, and 2, and again, not even on like shotgun snaps, just center quarterback exchange, and the Warriors will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
And we saw it early in the first half when maybe their hands are cold. They come out from halftime. They've been in the warm environment. They get outside, hands are cold. ball's kind of a little more slick than normal. Ball slips out of their hands. So 2nd and long, and we'll see what the Warriors do here.
Last week against Gate City, the Warriors came out in the second half and really had some offensive success, and they were down 14-0 at the half and were able to score 2 touchdowns to tie the game up. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. Ethan Mullins will hand it off to Matthew Boggs in the backfield. He'll get it across the original line of scrimmage, across the 45-yard line off the right-hand side. They will mark him down at the 46-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 8 now for Central in this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, big 3rd down play here for the Warriors to start the second half, as I see a golf cart just came driving down onto the field. Looks like Isaiah Reynolds was brought down on that golf cart, is now in just casual clothes out of his football uniform. Looks like he is done for the night, and that's a tough break for the Warriors defense and for Isaiah.
Yeah, again, you hate to see that for Isaiah. Again, this is his senior night, the last game he will play here at Central Warriors field, and it looks like his night will be done. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. Ethan Mullins takes a snap. It's a pass to Lester. It goes through Lester's hands and will be intercepted by number 11 for Grundy. He's on the return. He crosses the 40. He'll finally be chased out at the 39-yard line. That interception is by Jacob McCoy. Kelly, we've seen it several times. Good pass by Ethan Mullins. Hit Lester right in the hands, and it goes through Lester's hands, into McCoy's hands, interception.
Yeah, Ethan hit Lester in stride right there, and that was a potential big play for the Warriors. Unfortunately, it went through his hands, intercepted by Grundy, and now all the momentum with the Grundy Golden Wave.
And it's twice we've seen that little skinny post pattern, and twice Ethan Mullins has hit the receiver in the hands, and neither time we have anything to show for it. Endicott in the shotgun. He rolls out to his left. He's looking to pass. He doesn't see a whole lot of guys to throw it to. He finds a guy at the 35, though. He breaks a tackle, and he's going to be brought down at the 30. It's going to be short of the 1st down. Kelly, Endicott rolled out, had all kinds of time to throw. Looks like he didn't have anyone to throw to. He finally found a guy at the 35. He'll run it to the 30. So it's going to be a gain of 9 for Grundy on 1st down, bringing up 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, Endicott was just casually rolling to his left, and I think he was just going to throw the ball out of bounds, and the last-minute receiver got open. He found him.
And he had plenty of time to throw it. Number 6, A.J. Kennedy, was in pursuit, but was nowhere near him. Endicott this time takes the snap up under center. He hands it off to Pfizer up the middle. Pfizer will have enough for the Grundy 1st down. He's tackled at the 26-yard line, so give him a gain of about 3, but he only needed 1. So Grundy now has the ball at the Central Warriors 26-yard line, 1st down and 10 with 9:26 in the 3rd quarter.
All of a sudden, a very critical drive for the Warrior defense to start the second half.
Endicott goes into the shotgun. He takes the snap. It's that shovel pass to McCoy again. He sidesteps the first tackle, but good job of pursuit by the Central Warriors. It looked like that play was going to be disastrous, but McCoy's only going to be able to get a yard. Again, he could have been brought down in the backfield, but again, the Warriors do a pretty good job of pursuit, limiting McCoy to just a 1-yard catch on the shovel pass.
Kennedy was right there and ran right by the play. But fortunately, Matthew Boggs came up and made the stick and made the tackle. So now it's going to be 2nd and long for Grundy.
And Grundy seems to be living now inside this 30-yard line, just outside the red zone. They ended the first half in the same vicinity on the other side of the field. Here they are again, ball at the Central Warriors 25. Endicott takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer up the middle. Pfizer spins back to his right. He'll get the ball down to about the 20-yard line. Not a whole lot of running room. Take it back. He gets it to the 20-yard line. So we'll give him about a 4-yard gain. And so a huge 3rd down and 5 now faces Grundy and the Central Warriors defense.
I think you're going to see Grundy go back to just giving the ball to Pfizer and letting Endicott keep it. They've got a little fancy here just begin the second half and away from what they do.
Endicott in the shotgun. He takes the snap, and he actually keeps it. He's going backwards, Kelly. He's now back to the 35. He's all the way back to the 40. There's a huge block by Pfizer that's going to be met with about 4 flags on the field. That's another kind of a block in the back, hit on a defenseless man. Endicott rolled back 20 yards. He went 20 yards backwards, Kelly, looking for some running room. He got the ball back to about the 32-yard line. Probably wouldn't have got that, but Pfizer with the block from behind on the Warriors defender. So that's going to be a spot foul, Kelly. That's going to be thrown at the 40-yard line. So it's going to mark him back probably 15 yards beyond that, I would assume. That could push the ball all the way from the 20 back across midfield.
Yeah, get in the God. He just keeps running backwards. And I know he broke a play like that in the first half, but, that's generally not the way you want to run the football And that hit was made on Ben Stallard. And Chris, you and I both know Ben. Ben's no small cookie.
Yeah,
he's a good sized young man, and just got blindsided right there. Football has, back maybe 15 years ago, that play is legal. But the state of football this day and age, they are really getting away from that play. Those defenseless players are being protected now.
Yeah, so the Warriors elect to take the penalty, which makes it now 3rd down, and the scoreboard hasn't been able to update it so far back. It's a long way to go. Endicott drops back to pass. He rolls out to try. He's going to keep it. He has a little bit of running room. He's across the 50. He'll finally be chased out of bounds at the 46-yard line. That's well short of the 1st down. Again, I was going to get to it, Kelly. The Warriors could have declined the penalty, but it would have brought up about a 4th down and, I don't know, maybe just inside 20. Coach Owens electing to push them further back. So now it's 4th down, and again, they got the ball on the 46. They got to get to just outside the 15. So it's about 4th down and 3rd, and they're kind of at 4th and 29.
Yeah, and this will be the first punt of the night for Grundy. And they've had some high snaps on the shotguns. We'll see what happens.
Lester back to receive the punt. The kick by Grundy is up, and it's away. Lester will let it bounce at the 20. It'll trickle down and finally be down at the 15-yard line. That's number 22 for Grundy, Sage Keene, who downs it. So, again, the interception by Central on the opening possession does not cost. Grundy gets the ball, gets it all the way down to the 25-yard line, but some questionable decisions there by Endicott deciding to roll back, and then a huge personal foul penalty by Pfizer marches Grundy all the way back across midfield. And so no points on the board for Grundy. Central has not the best of field position with the ball on their own 15-yard line. But, again, they just trail 15-12 with 7:41 left.
Absolutely huge defensive stand right there by the Central Warriors. Grundy had the ball again in Central territory. Seems like they have lived there tonight, but the Warriors defense came up big with the aid of the big penalty by Grundy. Now let's see what the Warriors offense can do.
Again, Grundy has lived, like you said, just around the red zone area. But, again, costly penalties and costly decisions seem to keep moving them back. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree in motion. The handoff is to Crabtree off the right-hand side. He breaks some tackles up the middle. He's across the 35, across the 40. He's across the 50. He's got a couple guys to beat. He's to the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. He's finally chased down by Jacob McCoy just outside the 5-yard line, Kelly. A huge 1st down run by C.J. Crabtree on that play.
That was a run very similar to the one C.J. had last week toward the end of the game against Gate City. My whole thought as he was running down the exact same sideline was, hold on to that football, C.J. And C.J. held on to the football, had the ball in his right hand toward the sideline, was able to secure it. Big run by C.J., big 1st down by Central now inside the 10-yard line of Grundy.
Yeah, I can't do the math. That was over a 70-yard run right there by C.J. Crabtree. So it makes 1st down and goal now for the Warriors at the Grundy 7. Crabtree goes in motion. I believe the Warriors have fumbled the snap again, but I believe Ethan Mullins was able to fall on the snap. Looks like he's actually going to fall on it right at about the line of scrimmage again. So a fortunate break right there for Central. Again, fumbling the snap. That's the 3rd time we've seen a fumble on the center quarterback exchange. But so far for the Warriors, on none of those 3 instances have they lost the fumble.
Boy, we got fortunate right there. Ethan did a good job getting back on that, and he actually had to go through a lineman to get back on the football.
So it brings up 2nd down and goal now for the Warriors at the 7-yard line. Ethan Mullins again up under center. Waits for the snap. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. It's a handoff to Matthew Boggs up the middle. He's going to be met immediately. He might get a yard to the 6-yard line, but that's going to be about all. So we're going to call it 3rd down and goal now from the 6. And, Kelly, we've seen it time and time again this season. Central can move the ball between the 10s. Can they get the ball those last 10 yards? Again, and this is crucial here. A touchdown here gives the Warriors the lead.
Here's my question, Chris. We don't punch this in here on 3rd down. You're looking at a short field goal.
I think Warriors go for it. With all the questions about the kicking game, I think Central would have to go for it. But hopefully we won't have to worry about that. Hopefully they can punch it in here on 3rd down and goal. Again, Ethan Mullins this time again is under center. It's Maddox Reynolds in motion. It's the counter play to C.J. Crabtree, and he's going to be met well back in the backfield. He'll be brought down at the 10-yard line. So the Warriors try that fake handoff counter to Crabtree. It will not work, and now it's going to be 4th down and 10. Actually, 4th down and goal for the Warriors at the 10.
Yeah, they went back to the counter play, and Grundy was all over it. And you're right, Chris. They're deciding not to kick the field goal. We are going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yep, so the Warriors will go for it on 4th down and goal. Peyton Rogers still on the sideline. Again, 3 points would tie this game up. It's 15-12. Grundy leads. The Warriors are huddling up. There's 10 seconds left on the play clock. When they break the huddle, the Warriors going to have to hustle it up to get this play off. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. Waiting the snap. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. There's the hand, or it's a play action. Ethan Mullins going to keep it. He rolls to his left. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. He's got the corner. It's a touchdown. All Ethan Mullins on that run. Couldn't tell if it was a play action pass or if that was a quarterback keeper all the way. Either way, Ethan Mullins will scamper. They're going to give him 11 yards, and the Warriors now lead 18-15.
Looked like a bootleg to the left side, Chris, and they were going to bring some receivers back across the field. They got caught up in the interference there. Ethan was able to make, because there was no receivers in the area, and Ethan was able to make something out of nothing, got to the corner, got into the end zone, and now the Warriors take the lead 18-15, and they're looking to go for 2.
Yeah, they will elect to go for 2. Again, the kicking woes of the Central Warriors the last 2 weeks, pretty much eliminating the extra point option. Again, 1 point here would be huge. It'd put the Warriors up by 14. But instead, they'll go for 2. Up 4, which would mean a field goal could not tie. But again, they'll go for 2. Ethan Mullins takes the snap. He's looking to pass it. It's a pass to the corner. He has a wide open receiver. This time, the Warriors were able to come down with it. That's on the far side of the end zone. I can't quite tell who it was
Maddox.
they come down with it. It is Maddox Reynolds for a successful 2-point conversion. And with 5 minutes and 7 seconds left here in the third quarter, the Central Warriors take the lead 20-15.
You know, this team's kind of fun to watch, Chris. When they get down and you think, you know, are they going to be able to come back again this week? Or, you know, they just keep fighting. And that's what you got to love about this team. A lot of young guys out there, a lot of mixed with some older veterans, and they just keep fighting. They don't quit. They've played hard all year long, been faced with all kinds of adversity, and I think you're seeing here tonight how they respond to adversity. Now the pressure shifts back to Grundy. Do they come back with that potent running attack of Pfizer and Endicott?
So, again, Warriors now with their first lead of the night. Again, Grundy scored first. The Warriors were able to tie it up. But ever since the safety on the punt attempt by the Warriors, Grundy has led. Now Central Warriors will get a play from the lead with a 20-15 score. Again, if you just tuned in, again, the Warriors are playing for a postseason spot. A win tonight gets them in the VHSL Division II playoffs, which begin next week. A loss and the season is over. Peyton Rogers will kick it. It will be received by Grundy at the 14-yard line on the left-hand side. They cross the 20. Out across the 30-yard line.
Wow.
He's got some blockers. He's across the 40. He's across the 50, the 45. He's finally forced out of bounds, Kelly, at the 42-yard line. Again, he took that ball at the 15, so it's going to be about a 43-yard return. As we've seen most of the night, Grundy in this area of the field that they've kind of lived on. But so far, again, the Central defense has bent, but it's not broken yet.
Grundy back in familiar territory here. They've lived the whole game in Warriors territory, and this drive's no different.
All right, so again, 4 minutes and 55 seconds remain here in the third quarter. Endicott in the shotgun. He had no running backs. It's going to be a shovel pass, though, to Pfizer up the middle. He's across the 40, across the 35. He's going to be brought down right around the first down marker. I believe they're going to mark him just shy. So it's going to go down as a 9-yard pass play. Again, it was a shovel pass forward, basically a running play, but since the toss was forward, it will be a pass play. Bring up 2nd down and 1 for Grundy. Grundy breaks the huddle. Again, Endicott in the shotgun, joined by Pfizer to his left. Endicott surveying the Warriors' defense. The Warriors have 10 guys, Kelly, up in the box. They hand it off to Pfizer. He's going to be met right at the first down, but the sure wheel of Pfizer will carry him across the first down sticks. He'll finally be wrestled down at the 30-yard line. That's going to give Grundy a first down with 4:13 remaining here in the third.
Need a turnover right here. The Warriors gained momentum when they scored the touchdown there on the last drive. Now, momentum starting to turn again back to Grundy after the big kickoff and the first down.
You mentioned turnovers. I look back out again, and the rain has picked up again. It's not a heavy rain, but it's a steady mist. It's kind of gone from a heavy mist to a light mist, and now it's back up to a heavy mist. Endicott in the shotgun. He fakes the shovel pass. He's being chased to his left. He's going to be drugged down behind the 30-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss on the run play that time by the quarterback. Again, Grundy setting up some of these, they throw a couple plays and then they throw the fake play in.
Now, here's the thing I've noticed about Grundy here in this drive. Last drive, Endicott bobbled several snaps due to the wet football we've talked about all night. So this possession, they've put him more in the shotgun, which eliminates that bobbled snap. Fortunately for the Warriors, they've been able to adjust and set the edge. Now Endicott, as I say that, goes back under center.
Of course, with those deep snaps, we have seen Grundy snap it over Endicott's head twice. Endicott takes a snap. It's a pitch to the left. That's Pfizer with the ball. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, but finally the Warriors will hang on to him this time. And he's going to get about a 3 or a 4 yard gain. It could have been worse, but there for a second, it looked like it could have been a lot better for Pfizer. It looked like he was going to break some tackles, but the Warriors will bring him down and bring up a 3rd down and long situation.
Yeah, good hustle on that play by Tyson Tester from the linebacker position to come in and mop up Pfizer.
So it's going to make it 3rd down and 8 now for Grundy at the Central Warriors 28-yard line. Again, Central leads 20-15. We're down under 3 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Pfizer goes in the shotgun. He has no running backs joining him. He's going to drop back the pass. He rolls to his right. He looks deep. He throws it up to McCoy. McCoy does not make the catch. He actually had a chance on it. Maddox Reynolds was in coverage. McCoy had coverage would be loosely. Looked like McCoy had about 5 yards on him, but the pass was underthrown. McCoy actually had a play on the ball, came back, and it just hit the turf and fell incomplete at the 5 yard line.
Ball just looked like it died coming out of the air. Maddox was beat pretty good on the play. He has great speed, but not that great.
Yeah. So 4th down and 8 now. Again, Grundy living in this part of the field, but as we've mentioned a lot of times with the Warriors over the years, over the season, Grundy sort of stalling out.
Another penalty.
And we've got a false start penalty now on Grundy, so we're going to push them back 5 more yards. So we'll make it 4th down and 13 now for Grundy at the Central Warriors 33-yard line.
Boy, a stop right here would be absolutely huge for the Warriors. Grundy's lived down here all night long. Somehow the Warriors have gotten away with it. Let's they do again here on 4th and long.
Again, Grundy penalties or questionable decisions by Endicott to roll out backwards 20 yards or bad snaps over his head have pretty much doomed Grundy most of the night.
They may come back to the same play here.
Endicott drops back the pass. He rolls out to his right. He's being pursued. He rolls back to his left. Kelly, he's back 30 yards again. He's across midfield. He's to the 50. He throws it up deep down the left-hand side, and that ball sails well out of bounds. Kelly, he did
it again.
He was 20 yards in the backfield. Again, the line of scrimmage was the 33 of the Warriors. At one point, he was on his own 45-yard line looking for a receiver.
He's just out there running around.
I mean, he's quick. He's elusive, but you can't go backwards 20 yards, especially when you need 13 for the 1st down.
But if you're a Warriors fan, you'll take it.
Absolutely. So
if you want to run backwards, kid, just go ahead. That's fine. We're okay with that.
I mean, it's very entertaining to watch, and it kind of leaves you on the edge of your seat because you're just, we've seen him break a few of those. There's been a few times where we've had him and he's broken free, and next thing you know, he looks like it's a 20-yard loss, and he runs it for 80 yards, but it's called back for some penalties. But some questionable decisions so far right here by Endicott. It's almost like he's afraid to get hit, and he's just going to run and run
around.
And just don't get hit. So the Warriors take over a huge defensive stop. Again, they lead by 5 and now have the ball with 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Ethan Mullins goes up under center at C.J. Crabtree in motion. He takes it on the jet sweep off to the right. He crosses the 40. He's going to be forced out of bounds. It looked just shy of the 1st down, but Kelly will give him, 8 or 9 yards. So a good 1st down run by C.J. Crabtree.
Our receivers and our ends out to the sides that we've run these sweeps on have done an excellent job over the last 3 weeks of really sealing some blocks so that C.J. and Maddox and even Matthew Boggs can get some big runs.
So we've mentioned big series and big drives, and this one's kind of big as well, but kind of in a reverse of what we've talked about. Again, the Warriors lead by 5 and have the ball. They have a chance to tack on some insurance points here and go up by 2 scores if they're able to punch this ball in. C.J. Crabtree in motion, but the handoff will be to Boggs. He will get enough for the 1st down off the right-hand side just across the 45. He had to get just beyond the 43 for the 1st down. So that's going to be a 1st down for the Warriors, a Sturgill Sports Media 1st down.
Yeah, the Warriors are going to be content just to grind this drive out with C.J. Matt and Maddox in the backfield. So what you want to do here, if you're a Central Warrior, you want to keep grinding the ball hard on the ground but protect the football. Cannot be loose with the football in these types of conditions.
Yep. So again, the Warriors will now have it first down and 10, the ball at their own 46.5-yard line. In just we're approaching 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. Warriors looking to go up by 2 scores with a potential touchdown right here. Ethan Mullins goes back up under center. Maddox Reynolds goes in motion, but the handoff will be, it's a keeper. Ethan Mullins keeps it. He's off the left-hand side. He's across the 45. He's across the 35. Down to the 21-yard line where he's finally chased out of bounds. That's going to be a gain of about 35. Again, it was a fake handoff the box, almost like a read option type play. Ethan Mullins chose to keep it, rolled out to his left, and found plenty of running room.
Grundy came with the house. They had 9 men in the box on that particular play. Mullins kept the ball. He stuck it in Matthews' gut, pulled it out, got to the outside, and again, good seal blocks on the outside allows Mullins to pick up 34 and a Warrior first down.
That's again a Sturgill Sports Media first down. The Warriors now have the ball at the Grundy 21-yard line with under a minute left here in the third quarter. Ethan Mullins again goes back up under center. Man in motion, I believe, that's Maddox Reynolds, who will take the ball and go off the left-hand side. And that's the short side of the field. He won't find a whole lot of success off. In fact, they're going to mark him backwards a yard. So it's going to make it second down and 11 with 45 seconds and ticking here in the third quarter.
Yeah, again, the Warriors content keep the ball on the ground like they should. This has been a calling card over the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and with good reason. You can see the talent that these running backs have. You can see the good blocking up front by big guys like Big Tanner Hensley for the offense, for the Warriors offensive line. And now we got 2nd and 11 for Central.
So with about 13 seconds separating the play clock and the game clock, the Warriors will elect to run a play. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Matthew Boggs. Looks like he'll get a little bit out of it. It's going to be a gain of about 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. And with 5 seconds left in the third quarter, we can assume that will be the final play of the quarter.
And that indeed is the final play of the third quarter with the score. Your Central Warriors 20, Grundy Golden Wave 15. Again, Chris, if you told these Central Warriors back in camp, back in 2 days that, hey, you have 1 quarter, you're up 5, you win the game, you make the playoffs, every one of them would say, sign me up. Well, this is the situation that you've been given. This is where we are. You have the ball, you're driving here, and at this point, you control your own destiny. There's no other way, no better way to describe it. You control your own destiny, and that's the way I believe these kids would want it.
Yep. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. The England Consulting Group provides professional training, legal, and consulting services to local, state, and federal agencies. Our goal is to train 21st century leaders to be their best. Tonight's first down sponsor is Sturgill Sports Media. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Lonesome Pine Country Club, Morgan McClure, Coburn, Virginia, Shade Tree Landscaping, Evan Sturgill Photography, and the Heaters Baseball Club. And you're right, Kelly, and one thing that kind of gets lost in all that is not only a win tonight gets the Warriors into the postseason, but it would be 3 straight wins to close the season. Again, the Warriors were 1-6 at one point. Wins against Lee and win against Gate City. That's 2 in a row. If they can win tonight, they would carry that, into the postseason with a 3-game winning streak. The third quarter is up, and the Warriors break the huddle. It is a handoff to C.J. Crabtree on the jet sweep to the right. He crosses the 15, will be pulled down from behind at the 13, and there's the late flag. Oddly enough, Kelly, you called the horse call. That's probably what it's going to be, but it was called by the wrong official. That official was actually in the end zone on the wrong side of the play. So we'll have to wait and see if that's exactly what the call is going to be, but you would have to assume it is. And there's a personal foul horse call, so that comes with an automatic first down. I actually believe Crabtree was probably about a yard short of the first down to gain, so it would have brought up a 4th down and maybe 1 situation. But with the personal foul penalty, it's going to not only be an automatic first down, which is a Sturgill Sports Media first down, but it's going to put the Warriors inside of first down and goal to goal. They're going to mark him at the 5-yard line. So now the Warriors need about 5 yards to go up by 2 scores in this game.
I want to make mention that before that carry on the night, CJ had 13 carries for 151 yards. So add about, 5-6 to that.
There you go. And you said he needed 200 something not to reach 1,000. They're going to mark him at the 7-yard line. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. It's a handoff. I believe that's to Crabtree. He's going to get it to the 5-yard line and not much more after that. Yes, it is Crabtree off the right-hand side. He'll be marked down at the 5-yard line. So it's going to bring up second down and goal for the Warriors at the 5. Again, Warriors lead 20-15.
20-15, and in essence, you have 3 downs to punch it in right here. Chris, you got to believe that this ball is going to wind up in the hands of Matthew Boggs. It looks like Grundy is coming all out to stop the run. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ethan on a keeper either.
Yeah, another rollout run like we saw there earlier in this drive would probably work well. Ethan Mullins under center, Maddox Reynolds in motion. The handoff will go to Reynolds off the left-hand side. Good job of him by cutting it back up the middle, getting on that jet sweep to the left. He dove up the middle with a little bit of room. He's not going to reach the end zone, but he's going to pick up another about 2 or 3 yards. So that's going to make it third down and goal at the 2-yard line. So now the Warriors need 2 yards for that, game lead stretching touchdown.
Well, this right here is you go back to 2 a days. This is where them big linemen got to come through for you. They block that sled, do all that hard work for these types of situations.
Warriors break the huddle. Ethan Mullins goes back up under center. C.J. Crabtree in motion. The handoff is to Matthew Boggs up the middle. We're awaiting a call. We don't see one yet, so it looks like they may mark him down just shy, and they do. There's a signal for 4th down. So it's going to be 4th down now and goal to goal. If the ball is inside the 1-yard line, they actually moved it back about a couple of inches, so it's going to be still just right at the 1-yard line. So with 10-15 left in this contest and the Warriors leading by 5, they need 1 more yard to extend the lead.
Huge play right here. Let's see what this Warrior coaching staff dials up. I'm going to say you got to give it to your horse. Give it to Boggs down here in short yardage.
Let's see what the Warriors elect to do. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. Grundy has everyone up on the line of scrimmage. CJ goes in motion. It's going to be a quarterback keeper by Ethan Mullins. There's the signal for the touchdown. It's an Ethan Mullins 1-yard quarterback keeper that extends the lead. Now Warriors now lead 26-15 with the point after attempt still coming.
Huge drive there by the Central Warriors to go up 2 scores, capped off by Ethan's 1-yard quarterback sneak. Looks like the offense remains on the field to go for 2 here. And Chris, hey, things are looking pretty good here with a little under 10 minutes to go.
They are looking good for the good guys. Again, Warriors lead by 11, so they'll go for 2. A successful 2-point conversion would put them up by 13, meaning Grundy would need 2 touchdowns in order to come back. Again, if they fall short here, a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal would be enough, but that's still a long way down the road. Ethan Mullins goes back up under center against C.J. Crabtree in motion. It's a keeper for Ethan Mullins. He goes off the right-hand side. He's going to scamper into the end zone. Really good blocking right there, Kelly. I didn't quite see. I believe that's number 6 on the block right there. That's A.J. Kennedy. He did a good job on sealing off the defensive end right there. And then Ethan Mullins went in untouched. He beat the lineman on his own. But again, you got to give Kennedy some credit there on that block to help to get Mullins in the end zone.
Yeah, that's what I've been alluding to over the course of the night is these outside receivers. Have done an excellent job blocking for these sweeps. And, Ethan, that's one way Ethan can really hurt you. Ethan can hurt you with his legs. And you saw his breakaway speed earlier tonight. He showed it again right there on a sweep to the right side, outruns the linebacker, gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And now the Warriors up 13. After trailing again at halftime, the Warriors have gone in, made proper adjustments at the half, came out and executed to perfection in the second half.
That's 22 unanswered points for Central. And they trailed this game 15-6. They were down by 9. And since that time, they've gone on a 22-0 scoring streak and now lead 28-15. And 9 minutes and 53 seconds now stands between Coach Owens and his Warriors team and the playoffs. Central Warriors are now lining up to kick it off to Grundy. Grundy has 2 guys standing just between the 10 and 15-yard lines. Peyton Rogers steps off the kick again. The kicking game has been a little experience. We've seen some pooch kicks and some big returns and some tackles on fair catches.
Kick it out of bounds.
So let's see what happens right here. Peyton Rogers comes up to, he's going to kick it deep down the middle. It's going to be caught at the 20-yard line by one of the up men, number 63. He's across the 30, across the 35. There's about 8 flags. So it's going to be a block in the back, Kelly. I saw that one from here. He'll get it across the 35-yard line. We're going to have a block in the back at the 30. It's going to move Grundy on back.
That's a block in the back, but that number 63 from Grundy, who returned that kick, will never forget that moment the rest of his life. And I have a feeling that kick return will continue to grow and grow and grow as he gets older.
Absolutely.
He'll go from a 5-yard kick return that got wiped out from a penalty to a 15-yarder, 20-yarder.
Yeah. It may end up being a touchdown run by the time his grandkids come around. But it's going to be a holding penalty or a block in the back penalty here by a holding penalty by Grundy. So I guess I didn't see what I thought I saw. I could have swore I saw a block in the back.
There could have been one.
I
just
think
missed it.
And there was a lot of flagstones, so it was obvious. If I could see it from here, the referees out there saw it as well. So that's going to put Grundy all the way back onto their own 23-yard line. Again, they need 2 touchdowns with 9:45 remaining in the contest. Endicott's in the shotgun. He's going to look to pass. He's going to throw it up deep. That's McCoy on the right-hand side. This time he's going to make a catch inside the 40. He's going to spin and almost break some tackles. He crosses the 30. Finally brought down at the 25-yard line. It's going to be a 52-yard pitch and catch from Endicott to McCoy, and still plenty of time left, especially with plays like that.
Yeah, Endicott just went back through it as far as he could. McCoy goes down, makes the catch. Our defensive back just didn't turn around. Looked like he was in decent position, just didn't turn around, make a play on the ball.
Again, most of the passes Endicott's made have been to McCoy. Now he hands it off to Pfizer up the middle. He crosses the 20-yard line. He's going to be wrestled down at about the 22-yard line. So it's going to go down. Excuse me, he's at the 17-yard line, crosses the 20. It's going to go down as about an 8-yard run for Pfizer, and still tons of time left on this clock. But again, we've seen Grundy in this field position almost all night, and it's been a long time since they punched it in.
Yeah, they wasn't at home starting back in their own territory. Had to get a big play to get over here in Central Warrior position.
So, again, Grundy goes in the shotgun. Endicott takes the snap. He's going to keep it and roll out to his right. He's got a blocker who lays a good block out front. He he crosses the first down marker, actually looked to cut back left into field of play, but his right foot steps out of bounds. He does get enough for the first down at about the 14-yard line. So with 8:56, Grundy will have first down and 10 from the 14, trailing 28-15.
I know we just kind of joked about number 63 from Grundy on the kick return. He just made a heck of a block on that play.
And give Endicott credit. He set up that block. He waited for him. The handoff goes to Pfizer. He's across the 10. He's across the 5, Kelly. He crosses the end zone. So it takes Grundy less than a minute to go all the way down the length of the field. And just as Central takes a 28-15 lead, Grundy strikes on a 14-yard touchdown run from Pfizer to cut the lead to 28-21.
Yeah, just a little counter to the right side. Pfizer's able to punch it in the end zone. And once again, Chris, Grundy's back within 1 score.
I know we like to say we wouldn't have it any other way. We like these nice close contests, but at the same time,
a little breathing room myself.
We're homers up here in the booth, and we would gladly take a nice, comfortable Warriors victory. Grundy lines up to go for 2. Endicott takes the snap. He's going to keep it and throw it.
Big down right there.
They actually faked it to McCoy and then faked it to Pfizer and tried to throw it back to McCoy, but the pass from Endicott will fall incomplete, so the 2-point conversion is failed. And so with 8 minutes and 51 seconds left in regulation, the Central Warriors lead 28-21.
I noticed the emphasis there on regulation. Could we have 2 overtime games in a row to end the season?
I hope not. But I'd like to see the Warriors hang on to this one and not need that extra frame tonight. Again, the Warriors playing from the lead here, unlike we saw a lot of times last week against Gay City.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Well, with that missed conversion there, it brings up a real interesting situation. We've seen Grundy miss an extra point. We've seen Grundy make an extra point. If the score stays the way it is, let's say Grundy goes in for the touchdown, then there'll be a decision there to make from their coaching staff. Do you go for the win? Do you go for the tie? I was always taught on the road you go for the win. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. Central will receive the kickoff here with 8:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. Playoff berth on the line. Hey, what else could you ask for?
Not much, but on that same note, an extra point right there by Grundy makes it 28-22 and makes it a 6-point game. So
that probably goes ahead and makes your decision.
It probably does tell you what they'll probably end up doing if they were to score again and Central cannot. Here's the kickoff by Grundy. It's a low line drive kick, and Kelly, that's going to go straight through the end zone. It actually landed at the 3-yard line and skips all the way back to about where they would do some of the track competitions. That was just a low booming kick. The Warriors had no chance to return that. So this drive with 8:51 to go will begin at their own 20-yard line. And again, this is a statement drive right here. A score right here, again, Grundy just scored pretty quickly, but if the Central Warriors can score here and go back up 2 points or 2 scores, it's going to make it tough on Grundy. Even more so if they can score right here and sustain a long drive.
Exactly. And, in these last few possessions, Central has relied heavily on the run game. I expect them to go back to that. However, if they catch Grundy with a lot of people in the box like they are right now, they have no safeties over top. They could hit a slant, and it could go if they could get it out there.
Ethan Mullins goes back up under center. C.J. Crabtree in motion. Mullins is going to keep it himself, I believe. He runs up the left-hand side. He's going to get it out to about the 24-yard line. So it's going to be a 4-yard gain. Actually, he did hand it off to Maddox Reynolds. So a decent first down run right there by Reynolds, picking up 4 yards, setting up 2nd down and 6.
Over the course of this game, the Warrior offensive line has really taken control. And again, there on first down, good positive yards on first down for Central. Kennedy runs the play in off the sideline, relays it to Ethan Mullins, who goes in the huddle to call the play. And here comes 2nd down for the Warriors.
2nd down and 6 with just over 8 minutes remaining in regulation. Ethan Mullins goes in the shotgun. It's C.J. Crabtree in motion. It's going to be a keeper by Mullins. He has some blockers out in front. He breaks a couple of tackles, bounces it back to his left. He crosses the 30 and the 35. He's going to be brought down at the 37. He's got enough for the Central Warriors first down, and that is a Sturgill Sports Media Warriors first down.
Good run there by Ethan. Ethan's got a real low center of gravity. He's really hard to tackle. He's not a real big guy, but he's powerful. And, usually, he can run through arm tackles, which he did right there. So good run by Ethan. It looked a little gimpy coming over to the sideline to receive the play as Kennedy runs it in. Now the Warriors will have first down from the 37. 38.
It's going to be first down for the Warriors at their own 38-yard line. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. The handoff will be to Matthew Boggs off the right-hand side, and he's going to be met immediately. Maybe a short gain, maybe a gain of 1. It's going to set up 2nd down and 9 with 7.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Again, the Warriors lead 28-21.
28-21. Crabtree has yet to touch the ball on this possession for the Warriors. Look for them to get the ball in his hands here on 2nd down.
We'd like to welcome all the new listeners we have here tonight. One of the, more popular broadcasts we've had so far this season, tuning in to see if the Warriors can clinch a spot in the 2018 VHSL Division II playoffs. They're 7 minutes away from doing so, clinging to a 7-point lead. Ethan Mullins goes up under center. C.J. Crabtree in motion. There's the handoff to Crabtree. He goes off to the right, jumps back to the left. He's across the 40-yard line, but won't get much more. They'll spot him down at the 41-yard line, so it's going to be a gain of 2, and that brings up a huge 3rd down and 7 here for Central Warriors with 6:40 remaining.
Good tough run there by C.J., just not a lot of space there. You can see the defenders ripping at the football, trying to cause a much-needed turnover for them. Be interesting to see what the Warriors do here on 3rd down. Again, Grundy putting 8, 9, 10 men in the box here on Central. Do they dare put it up in the air to Dime Lester, who split out to the far side?
The Warriors have had some pretty good pass plays. Unfortunately, the receivers have not caught those. Ethan Mullins takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his left. Not a whole lot of running room out there, though, Kelly. He's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. It's going to be looks like a loss of 2. So with the clock now stopped because of going out of bounds with 6:07 to go, the Warriors will give Grundy the ball back. So the Central Warriors not only could not score, but they were only able to eat up about 2.5 minutes of the clock, and they'll give Grundy the ball back with a potential tying or go-ahead score with plenty of time still left on the clock.
And this is the first time we've seen the punt team on the field since early in the first half when the ball went through the end zone to give Grundy a safety. Looks like not enough players on the field now for Central. There's a little confusion. May have to burn one of their timeouts.
It looks like so far they will. Some confusion on who was supposed to be out there. Again, the special teams the last 2 weeks has been
it's been an adventure.
It's been an adventure. I was going to say disaster, but you can go either way. We've seen missed field goals. We've seen missed extra points. We've seen bobbled snaps on safeties. On punts. We've seen safeties on punts again. And there's been a lot of injuries. We've made reference to that, and a lot of the issues that fall on to that. Again, last week's punter was Ben Bricky. He got injured on an incomplete pass attempt in that game, suffered some sort of a leg injury. Now he can't punt. So the Warriors are on their third punter of the season. Granted, it is Peyton Rogers who does the kickoffs and the extra point kicks, but it's not all been the kicker's problem. We've seen bad snaps. We've seen bad holds. It's been, like you said, it's been an adventure on every facet of the special teams game. So, again, 6:07 left in regulation. And we got to say regulation because, again, the Warriors lead by 7. 6 minutes to go in the game here in the fourth quarter, 28-21. We'll have to just wait and see how this one plays out. Rogers set back inside his own 30. Good snap. He takes it. There's the punt. It's a low, short one. It's going to trickle almost out of bounds. He actually going to get a pretty good roll. It landed at about the 48-yard line. He'll actually get about 10, 11 yards of roll out of it. It will go down at the 37-yard line. It looked like it was going to sail out of bounds at about the 45-yard line, but it kicked back in bounds. Got about 8 to 10 more yards of roll. So here we are, 5:55 left in regulation. Grundy down 7. Now has the ball, 1st and 10, 63 yards to go to tie the game or take the lead.
Huge drive here for the Warrior defense. Let's see if they can step up and stop Grundy.
Endicott in the shotgun. He drops back to pass. He rolls out to his right. He's going up deep again to McCoy. He overthrows him this time by about 2 or 3 yards. Good coverage that time. You know, we've mentioned before, the Central Warriors defensive backs kind of getting lost out there. Really good coverage right there by the Central Warriors secondary.
That was Ethan.
Again, Ethan Mullins on the coverage. Again, every deep ball, Kelly, has gone up to Jacob McCoy, number 11 for Grundy. So, again, if you're covering him, you almost have to just stay locked on him and don't let him beat you deep on the pass play and let the other 10 guys play defense on the other ones.
Exactly, Chris. Endicott actually, you know, he threw that ball a long ways, actually.
So Endicott goes into shotgun. McCoy goes in motion. He's going to hand it off to Pfizer up the middle. He's not going to be met, or he will be met at the line of scrimmage, but will drag a few Warriors tacklers just outside the 40-yard line. We'll give him a gain of 3, and with the clock ticking down to 5.5 minutes left in the game, it's going to make it 3rd down and 7 for Grundy at their own 40.
Huge 3rd down now for Grundy. Let's see what the Golden Wave have up their sleeve.
Endicott in the shotgun. He fakes the handoff to – he's going to keep it himself. He fakes it to McCoy. He sidesteps the guy. He's not going to have enough for the 1st down. He's going to get about 3 yards out to – they're going to mark him down at the 43-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of 3, bringing up a huge 4th down and 4 now for Grundy. The clock now under 5 minutes left in the contest.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. On that 3rd down play is a great open field tackle by Matthew Boggs. So here we go, Chris, 4th down for Grundy.
Grundy has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so it's not necessarily a do-or-die play here for Grundy. Endicott takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. In Endicott fashion, he goes backwards about 7 yards. He gets across the 45. He's got enough for the 1st down, Kelly. He was about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Several Warriors were out there. He was able to skirt through those. He gets it to midfield, so he'll get enough for the 1st down and keeps the Grundy drive and game alive.
He keeps the game and the drive alive, and he finally went in the right direction. When this kid gets north and south, he's tough to bring down.
So right at the 50-yard line is where they'll mark him down at. Grundy takes the snap. They hand it off to Pfizer, the penalty flag. I don't think Grundy was quite set on the offense right there. Looked like it may have been a false start or maybe a illegal formation of some sort. They weren't quite set on the snap. I believe it's going to be backwards 5 yards. It's an illegal shift. So Grundy will march back 5 yards. And we've seen that a lot tonight.
We've seen that a lot.
Grundy will start to march it, and then they do something. They'll shoot themselves in the foot, a bad snap, a penalty. And now it's going to make it 1st down and 15.
I don't know what the penalty yardage is for Grundy. It has to be well over 100 yards at this point in the game because they've been penalized often tonight. Again, another just terrible penalty on 1st down to put them back on their own 45.
Yeah, now they're in their own side of the field, 1st down and 15 from their own 45-yard line. Endicott now goes up under center. It's going to be a pitch off the Pfizer to the right. He gets it to the 50. He breaks a tackle. He's finally going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of about 12 or 13, which is going to set up a very manageable 2nd down and what looks like 3 from the Warriors' 43-yard line, 4:18 left in the game.
4:18 to go. This game's coming down to this Warrior defense, who's had their moments tonight to really step up and have made some big stops. Let's see if they can get one more.
Again, they were in this situation last week against Gate City in a tie game. They were able to stop Gate City on that drive. There's a pitch to Pfizer to the right. He's across the 40. That's going to be enough for a first down. They'll mark him down at the 39, so he'll have about a 4-yard gain. 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go. First down, Grundy, ball on their own 39, trailing 28-21.
Yeah, Grundy has found something on the left-hand side of our defense, and they are wearing it out.
Again, Grundy breaks the huddle. Again, Grundy with all 3 timeouts. Central has 2. Endicott goes back up under center. He surveys the defense. Maybe he's changing the play call, perhaps. He backs off. He takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to his up man. That's number 22. He breaks the tackle, Kelly. He's across the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Grundy. That's number 22, Sage Keene. And with 4:04 to go, it's now Central 28, Grundy 27.
Yeah, it looked like Endicott came to the line of scrimmage, saw something that he liked, changed the play call. And now here we go, Chris. The Grundy Golden Wave have pulled to within 1 and look to be huddling to go for 2.
Grundy is going to go for 2 and the lead. Again, 4:04 remaining in the contest. Central leads 28-27. On the last possession, Grundy went for 2 and failed on a pass attempt. Endicott doesn't seem to know which one's the center, or maybe he's doing something. He takes the snap. It's a pitch to Pfizer off the right-hand side, and he's brought out of bounds. He is pushed out of bounds by the Central Warriors defense at the 2-yard line. Huge play by the Warriors defense. Pfizer looked like he may have had the edge, but 2 Warriors were there to meet him, forced him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So that's back-to-back failed 2-point conversions by Grundy. So Central Warriors now clinging to a 28-27 lead with 4:04 left in the contest.
Chris, he did have the edge, and I couldn't tell. I could not see the number of the Warrior player who came. It had to be one of the linebackers who came and pushed Pfizer out of bounds just before he could get to the pylon to preserve a 1-point lead for the Warriors. Boy, if you want drama, we've got drama here at Central Warrior Stadium tonight.
Again, that 2-point conversion was being run about the furthest point from where Kelly and I are sitting. It was on the end zone to our left, heading towards the pylon to the furthest corner. So 4:04 to go. Central leads 28-27. Again, if you just tuned in, a win by the Warriors gets them into the playoffs. A loss ends their season. The Warriors were up 28-15 about 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes of game time. And now Grundy has battled back and now trail 28-27. The Warriors send a late guy on the field on the kickoff. It's a low squib kick.
Get on it.
That's going to roll all the way down to the 10-yard line. Maddox Reynolds picks it up. He's not going to get to the 20. He's going to be tackled at the 19-yard line. So Central will start this drive with exactly 4 minutes to go and a 1-point lead at their own 19-yard line. And again, Kelly, Grundy has all 3 of
Central is going to have to pick up a few first downs in order to run this timeout and escape here with a 28-27 win. A lot of times in the fourth quarter in this situation, 4-minute drill. And that 4-minute drill is this. Hang on to the stinking football until the game's over. Especially, of course, you got the lead.
Yeah, at this point, Warriors probably need 2, maybe 3 first downs to probably ice this clock and go home with a victory and not give Grundy the ball back. Handoff is kept by Ethan Mullins. He crosses the 20, gets to the 25, but unfortunately for the Warriors, it is a good run on first down, but he is forced out of bounds, which will stop the clock. But again, it's going to be a gain of about 6 or 7. Actually, going to mark him all the way out to about the 27-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of 8. So even though he was forced out of bounds, which stops the clock, it will make it 2nd down and 2 now for the Warriors at their own 27.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good run. That's the same play that Ethan broke in the first half for around 34 yards, if I recall, Chris. So good run there on first down by Central.
Again, Warriors lead 28-27. We're at 3:53 left in the contest. Ethan Mullins goes back up under center. Maddox Reynolds in motion. The handoff will go to Boggs up the middle. He has enough for the first down. He's out around the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down Can't quite tell. They're going to mark him down right at about the 29 to 30-yard line. It's going to be just enough for the first down. Actually, the referee is going to, he stops the clock and motions first down. So there's one first down. But Kelly only killed 17 seconds on that. Again, Grundy has all 3 timeouts. We're going to need at least 2 more first downs at least to milk that clock.
Yeah, Grundy's going to hold those timeouts as long as they possibly can. Now, here's the thing that you got to keep in mind. They're selling out on these runs. This is tough. This is tough to ask of an offensive line, and it's tough to ask of your young running backs here. Teams selling out to run. You continue to run the football, pick up positive yards, keep those sticks moving.
Last thing that can happen, though, for the Warriors, they got to hang on to the football. Do not turn this football over. Clock now under 3:30 left. Handoff goes to Matthew Boggs up the middle. He actually bounces it out to his left. It's going to force him backwards into the backfield. They're going to mark him down at the 26-yard line. So now, Kelly, that's going to bring up a second down and long. We're going to make it second down and almost 14 yards. Clock still rolling. We're down to 3 minutes left. Again, Grundy with all 3 of their timeouts, choosing to hang on to those right now. Again, the Warriors lead 28-27.
Warriors leading 28-27, and you look for Grundy to maybe start using those timeouts after this play.
Yeah, this is a big play for the Warriors. You like to see a big play, some chunk of yards right here. But let's see what the Warriors dial up. C.J. Crabtree goes in motion. He's got the ball. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, but he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. And just as you predicted, Kelly, Grundy will call their first timeout with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go. Central now facing a 3rd down and 13 play with 2:36. And again, Grundy now has 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, Grundy has 2 timeouts. Grundy is selling out to the run right here as we continue to run the football, which we should be doing. We should be running the football in this situation. But now with 3rd and 13, it's almost 3rd and 14. Do you dare put the ball in the air in this situation? If it's an incomplete pass, Grundy is afforded to save one of their timeouts. However, you complete the pass, pick up the first down, it almost ices the football game. We've seen Ethan be on target tonight with passes to Maddox and passes to Damai that have fallen out of their hands. So, it's a tough decision to make as a coach in this situation. You don't want to play to not lose. You want to play to win, but there's a fine line that you have to walk there.
I would, I think about that while you're talking. I would throw that slant pass, that little skinny post. We've seen it work. If the receivers can catch it, like you said, it ices the game. So let's see what Coach Owens do. Coach Owens breaks the huddle. Central Warriors, and CJ goes in motion. It's going to be a quarterback keeper for Ethan Mullins. He's going to be met in the backfield yet again. He's going to be thrown down. It's going to be a 4-yard loss. I believe some of the Warriors fans wanted another horse collar tackle, but they will not get it. So the Warriors keep the ball in Mullins' hands. He's going to lose about 4 more yards. He's taken down at the 22-yard line. Grundy does call that second timeout. And I was thinking, really at this point in the game, I think the timeouts are kind of irrelevant. We've seen some quick plays. I would have thrown that ball there. We've seen the Warriors punting game, even with Rogers back of that last punt, did not exactly look, didn't look great. Shaky. It was a little low angled punt. I would have thrown it right there, said, I know they got 2 timeouts, but I don't think the timeouts are really all that important at this point. I think it's the time. Letting them have 2 timeouts compared to 1 timeout, I don't think would have mattered, especially in the high school game where first down stops the clock.
Right.
I would have taken the shot in the air right there, tried to catch him a little off guard. Like I said, if it's incomplete, it's incomplete, but you gave yourself a better chance at the first down. But we're up here, and Coach Owens is down there, so now let's see what Coach Owens can draw up on defense. 2:23 to left. Good snap to Rogers. He gets the punt. It's an end-over-end punt. It hits at the 46 and will die, and the Warriors will touch it, and it will be down at the 47-yard line. That's the Warriors' 47-yard line. So Grundy now trailing by 1, Kelly, have 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. They only need a field goal. And the kicking games tonight have been, suspect at best. So let's see what the Warriors' defense and Grundy's offense draws up here in this final 2:14.
And this has been the story of the night. Grundy has the ball in Warrior territory. So we'll see what happens here in the final 2:14. This is for a playoff berth.
All right, Endicott goes back up under center. He hands it off the Pfizer off the right-hand side. It's a good first down run. He's across the 40. He's going to be brought down at the 36-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 11. That's a Grundy first down, and it stops the clock with 2:08.
you get the sense that all the momentum's riding with the Golden Wave right now.
You need a big stop. You thought maybe with that stop on that 2-point conversion, the Warriors might have had a little bit of momentum, but so far it's all going Grundy's way. We're down to 2 minutes to go. Endicott takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer. He's met up the middle. Not as much running room that time. He'll fight it out for about 5 hard gained yards there. He's down at the 31. We're at 1:50 to go. Again, Warriors lead by 1.
And like you said, Chris, at this point here with 1 timeout, the clock really isn't the issue. The Warriors are going to have to hold them here for 4 downs. I don't think the clock's going to run out on them at any stretch.
Again, Grundy choosing to huddle up right now. Again, clock down to 1.5 minutes. Endicott in the shotgun, standing at his own 35. He looks to pass. He rolls out to his right. He's back to the 40. He's now across the 35 to the 30. There's a first down. He'll finally be chased out of bounds at the 24-yard line. We'll give him a gain of 8. That's going to be a first down, and just as important, he was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
Yeah, heady play there by Endicott, rolling out, had nowhere to go with the football, made something out of nothing there, got out of bounds, saved the timeout. Grundy's in business.
Grundy's got the ball at the Warriors' 23-yard line. There's the snap by Endicott. He hands it off to Pfizer off the right-hand side. There's a penalty flag on the play. Pfizer does have enough for the first down if the play stands. He's chased out of bounds at the 10-yard line. The Warriors coaching staff is saying it's on Grundy, and it is. It is a holding penalty on the Golden Wave, and Kelly, we've seen that a lot tonight.
We've seen it a lot. It has been the theme. Every time Grundy gets in Central territory, they commit a terrible penalty to put them behind the sticks, and this is no different.
So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. We're still waiting to see where they're going to spot the ball. It's going to be marked at the 27-yard line, so it's going to be a 4-yard penalty. We have 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Grundy has 1 timeout left. Ball on the 27-yard line. It's first down and 13 here for Grundy. And we have a whistle and a timeout Central. That'll be Central's second timeout. Probably a good timeout right there, Kelly. You can settle down the troops. Let's talk it over a little bit. And, again, Grundy kind of driving the ball. Let's make sure we got the right defensive set right here with, like I said, 1 minute and 13 left in the game.
Yeah, good timeout there by the Warriors coaching staff to get the defense aligned the way that they wanted aligned. On the previous play, Grundy was looking to throw the ball down the field. So we want to make sure our defensive backs don't let anybody behind us here and keep things in front, keep them in bounds, keep the clock running. Again, first down and long for Grundy, 113, 1 timeout, down by 1. Whew.
Yeah.
What a game.
Hey, tonight's game is brought to you by the England Consulting Group. Getting their bang for their buck here tonight. Again, a lot of listeners here tonight. Good, nice, close game. Last 2 sponsors, man, they've gotten their money's worth. Grundy breaks the huddle. Endicott is up under center. 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining. He takes the snap. He hands it off to Pfizer off the right-hand side. Not a lot of running room. He'll cross the original line of scrimmage. He's down around the 24-yard line, and Grundy has elected to call their final timeout, Kelly. 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the contest. They will face a second down and 9 play from their own from the Warriors' 24-yard line, 23-yard line.
So Grundy uses their final timeout, and so probably what's going on here is they're going to call 2 plays in the huddle. They're going to call 2 plays in the huddle. So if they're tackled inbounds, they're going to get back up, run the second play. If you're the Warriors, you want to keep them inbounds, keep the clock moving. You have to know the situation. You have to know the down and distance. You have to know what's going on in the football game at this point. Be alert here at all times. So let's see what Endicott and the Golden Wave can do. Let's see what this Warriors defense can come up with here. It's white knuckle time here at Warrior Stadium.
Here we go. The timeout is over. Endicott is in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He throws it up deep. That's McCoy in the end zone. It is. Let's wait for the signal. It is an interception. Interception by the Central Warriors. Can't quite tell who it is that came up with the interception. But for all intents and purposes now, Central Warriors hang on to the football. The Central Warriors will be advancing to the playoffs.
That was Ethan Mullins. They tried to get him. Ethan's played good defense out there at that defensive back position all night long. Grundy went for the jugular. Ethan was in perfect position, came down with the ball, kept his feet in bounds. The Warriors will take over. and a couple of knees, Chris, and we're going to the playoffs.
That's right. 2nd down and 9 from the 23-yard line with a minute to go. Grundy went for the home run pass. And as we've seen in the last couple of plays, the Warriors have been beat by McCoy out there on the right-hand side a couple of times tonight. But now the last 2 or 3 times they've tried to go to McCoy, Ethan Mullins has been right there with him step for step. They went for the deep pass. They did complete the one. Right. But after that, Ethan Mullins stayed right there with him on the one before that. And then that time right there, played great coverage on McCoy, came down with the interception, got the foot down in the back of the end zone, and now hang on to the football, 2 knees, and the Warriors are going to the playoffs.
Looks like victory formation for the Central Warriors, and what a big win for this football team. What a big win for –
It would behoove me, Kelly, to say that we've fumbled a couple of these snaps so far. So let's don't get ahead of ourselves just yet. There's one. Snap is successful. Ethan Mullins takes the knee. We're down to under 50 seconds to go. Play clock still holding at 25, waiting for the official to spot the football. There's the whistle. The play clock is now rolling. It's at 23. The game clock is at 37. The Warriors are in no hurry to snap this ball. In fact, if they can complete the next snap, that will be the last play of the game. And the Warriors have to wait. Again, we're down to 10 seconds on the play clock. Game clock now under 25. It is a good snap. Ethan Mullins takes the knee. Coach Owens throws his hands up in the air. Kelly, the Central Warriors are going to the playoffs.
We're going to the playoffs. Hey, start the year 1-6, win your final 3 games, get in the playoffs. Great job. My hat's off to Coach Owens and his football staff, and my hat's off to the Central Warriors football players. They could have just threw in the towel early on in this season and said they battled back, and now they have earned a playoff berth.
Yeah, players were already lining up at midfield to shake hands, and there was still time on the clock, but we are now down to double zeros, and the Central Warriors, as we've said, are going to the playoffs. A 28-27 victory. It took 2 back-to-back 1-point victories where 2-point conversions told the story.
2-point conversions. We make one. We stop one.
We stopped 2.
We stopped 2. We stopped 2 tonight. We stopped 2. Man, what a great game. What a great last 3 games.
Absolutely.
It's been a lot of fun, Chris. And you know, I'm looking over here. We got a lot of listeners through Sturgill Sports Media. I'd like to encourage all of our listeners to stick around for some of our post-game. We're going to try to get Coach Owens up here in the box, talk to him, talk to several of the Warrior football players and get their feelings on making the playoffs.
Absolutely. Again, we don't have any idea as to who exactly the Warriors will play next week. We can pretty much guarantee it will be a road game. The Warriors will likely be an 8 seed, perhaps move up to a 7, depending on what the PowerPoint situation looks like. Projection maybe Ridgeview again, or maybe Graham, probably a top 1 or 2 seed in the VHSL playoffs. But at this point, Kelly, we ain't worried about who the opponent is. It's the fact that the Warriors are going to the playoffs.
Well, the Warriors are in the playoffs. And Chris, when you're in the playoffs, there's only one thing left to do.
There is only one thing left to do, and it's win the whole thing. But in this case, let's be glad
we're there, man. We're there, and that's great. It's been several years since we've made the playoffs, but now we're back in there, and that's a shot in the arm, man. You got to feel great for the seniors. They will always remember their senior night here at Central Warrior Stadium, winning a 1-point game. You think about Isaiah Reynolds made the big tackle in the first half, got injured, came out in civilian clothes, watched the second half from a golf cart, just trying to get comfortable, rooting on his teammates. And several of the other seniors out there tonight. Ben Stallard had a big game. Several of those guys, McKinley Dale, did a good job snapping the football tonight for the Warriors, and good blocking by him as well. So, you got to feel good for those kids. You got to feel good for the coaching staff, because this ain't easy, man. It's not easy. It's not easy to coach football in this day and age, but they've done a terrific job rallying these troops after the injury to their starting quarterback early in the season and losing several other key players. So our hats off to the Central Warriors.
Again, tune in to the Sturgill Sports Media postgame show where we hope to have some postgame interviews with Coach Owens and some of the Warriors players. Again, tonight's game was brought to you by the England Consulting Group. The England Consulting Group provides professional training, legal, and consulting services to local, state, and federal agencies. Our goal is to train 21st century leaders to be their best. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by Sturgill Sports Media, Lonesome Pine Country Club, Morgan McClure, Coburn, Virginia, Shade Tree Landscaping, Evan Sturgill Photography, and the Heaters Baseball Club. Again, reach out to Sturgill Sports Media if you'd like to be a sponsor. Do so by email at warriornationblog@gmail.com or contact us at Twitter at Sturgill S Media or at Warrior NATN blog. You can also get in touch with me. I'm Coach Wilson17 or Coach Kelly Foster here at Coach K Foster on Twitter. So again, the Warriors win that 28-27. Here is another attempt at myself to recap what happened in this wild and crazy football game. Grundy got the ball first on the opening kickoff. After the kickoff, it took Grundy all of 2 plays to take a 6-0 lead. Two long runs capped off by a Pfizer touchdown run gave Grundy a 6-0 lead 59 seconds into the game. Central Warriors got the ball on their first possession after the kickoff, and it took Central a little while longer to score their first touchdown. It took them 3 plays. 3 plays later, C.J. Crabtree scampered in for a huge 37-yard touchdown run, and Central tied the game up at 6. Both teams were unsuccessful in their point-after attempts. Then the tide shifted to the Golden Wave of Grundy. Grundy received a safety on a bad snap by a Central Warriors punt that sailed through the back of the end zone, and Grundy took an 8-6 lead. And then later on in the second quarter, quarterback Endicott ran for 69 yards for a touchdown. And just like that, Grundy led 15-6. As the first half wound down to an end, the Warriors were able to score another touchdown on a C.J. Crabtree 4-yard run that trimmed the lead to 15-12. The Warriors defense was able to keep Grundy from scoring again, and that's where the score stood as we ended the first half with Grundy leading 15-12. Central kept the momentum going into the second half and scored 2 more touchdowns in the second half, and at one point had scored 22 unanswered points. And then suddenly they took a 28-15 lead with 8 minutes left in the contest. Not exactly sure. I know one run was, I believe, C.J. Crab. No, think about one was a quarterback sneak by Ethan Mullins, and then Matthew Boggs, I believe, also had a 1-yard run that gave the Warriors a 28-15 lead with just over 8.5 minutes left in the game. Just when you thought Central was going to maybe cruise to a nice, easy victory, Grundy got the ball back and took very little time to score a game, kind of, I guess, a saving touchdown. A deep pass down the side to McCoy from Endicott gave Grundy great field position, and then Pfizer ran it in for a touchdown. And in less than 2 minutes, Grundy had trimmed the lead from down to 28-21. Grundy elected to go for 2, and on a pass attempt that fell incomplete, the Warriors were able to hang on to a 7-point lead with about 6 minutes left. Central got the ball back and found no success on their next drive, which led to another punt. Grundy got the ball back and again, rather quickly, drove down the field, scored a touchdown, trimmed the game to 28-27. With just over 2 minutes left, Grundy decided to go for 2. The conversion looked good. Pfizer ran off the right-hand side. Looked like he had the pylon and the corner, but 2 Warriors defenders were able to close the gap and force Pfizer out of bounds, saving the 2-point conversion and in most likelihood saving the Warrior season. The Warriors got the ball back with exactly 4 minutes to go. They were able to pick up 1 first down, but that was it. Grundy used up their timeouts and got the ball back with about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Grundy was able to drive the ball all the way back down inside the 20-yard line. And then on a second down play from the 23-yard line with just under a minute to go, Grundy took a shot at the end zone, and Ethan Mullins for the Warriors came down with an interception in the back of the end zone to secure the Warriors' victory. 2 knees later in victory celebration, and the Central Warriors will carry a 28-27 victory into next week's playoffs. Looks like we're going to be joined by a few Central Warriors football players, so I'm going to turn it back over to Kelly Foster here to do the first interview. Looks like I'm being joined here now by Mr. Eli Stallard here, so I'm going to turn it over to Senior Eli Stallard. Here's Kelly Foster.
All right, we'll give
Sit down right there, Eli.
we'll give Eli some time to get his headset on and sit down here with me. First of all, congratulations, big fella.
Thanks.
So won't you tell me a little bit, senior night, big game here for you guys. You win and you're in. Just tell me your feelings tonight about. I mean, it's an emotional night for you, so I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm ecstatic. I could not be happier with the way our guys played and how we, obviously the score we won, fought hard right there, and the message this week has been one more week. We just get one more week. We win. It was in our hands, and it was in our hands, and we came and delivered. And I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it was. It got white knuckle time there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You guys had a 28-15 lead, and then Grundy scores 2 consecutive touchdowns, then gets the ball back. They still had a couple timeouts left there. What was going on out there on the field during that time?
Well, I mean, we were just trying to stay positive and saying not give up and stuff like that. Because, I mean, being a part of this team the last few years, when it got in a situation like that, guys tend to lean their heads down and kind of give up. But this group, like this freshman group that's come up, I'm so proud of the way that they keep playing. Like just as a whole, we've came together.
Right. Well, listen, man, that's a great win for you guys tonight. Appreciate you taking some time out to come and join us.
All right, thank you.
I know it feels good.
Yeah.
And speaking from experience, you will never, ever forget this night. Your
Yes, sir.
seat last night
Yes, sir.
on Central Warrior football field, earning your school and your team a playoff berth, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Congratulations, big fella.
All right, thanks, Coach.
That's Eli. That's Eli Stallard, senior for the Central Warriors. Had a big game tonight on both sides of the ball for the Warriors, and now we're going to be joined by another Central Warrior here. My back's actually to them. I don't. Who's walking in? It's man. I wish I had his hair. This is Big Ben Stallard, number 55. And and I made mention of this last week. First of all, thanks for joining us. I made mention of this last week. It takes a team player to change your jersey number right in the middle of the season. So
I know, my mom and dad, they were just.
So does your mom and dad actually come to the games and have your old number on?
Well, yeah, probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's no big deal. But hey, man, listen. Talk about tonight's game and kind of what it meant to you to come out of here with a 1-point win.
Well, it felt great coming off the momentum of the Lehigh and Gate City
Right.
game, and we had our mindset. He was pushing us in practice, and we basically took the game personal.
Yeah,
They wouldn't trade film with us. They wouldn't do anything, so we took that game personal.
right,
And I wouldn't call us a football team. I called us a family.
right.
So
And you could see that out there on the field when you guys get in tight situations.
Yes,
it
sir.
seems like your level of play just kind of goes up.
oh yeah, ain't nobody gonna bring the line down.
That's awesome. You've had some experience in the playoffs, being a basketball player from
Mhm.
last season and seasons prior. Talk about your feelings now. You get another week to extend your football career, and that's special. There's nothing like playing playoff football. So kind of talk a little bit about that. Talk about kind of your feeling right now. You seem a little emotional up here right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that's awesome. By the way,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Well, I guess what you'd call a competitive player.
Yeah.
And I take the game personal, and I just love playing the game. And I knew Eli told me right before the season, he's like, "You're gonna come up senior year, play this, and you're gonna regret not playing."
Right.
And he was 100% correct.
And I think that's the cool thing is you get to experience this yourself, but you also get to experience this with your brother.
Yeah.
And years down the road, when you're a guy like me, when you're my age, you're going to be able to look back with your brother and say, "Man, you remember when we did that?"
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, Ben, congratulations, brother. Thank you. Good luck next week. It don't stop there, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't stop there. So good job. Good job. That's Ben Stallard
Thank
of the Central Warriors.
Isaiah Reynolds.
Oh, we got Isaiah Reynolds, another senior coming in here, stepping in for us. Isaiah, congratulations, man. First of all, make sure you talk in the mic here so we can pick you up. You have been an excellent leader and football player all year long. I've seen you step up, make big plays after big play. And then tonight, you get out here on senior night, you make a huge play. I think it was on 4th down. You bring Endicott down, who we were having trouble stopping, and you get banged up a little bit.
I just tweaked my leg up a little bit. It's still a little bit sore. Hopefully, I'll be back for next weekend. I'll be ripe and ready to run again.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less of you. I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Talk a little bit about what it means to you being a senior, coming out of here, playing your final game at Central Warrior Stadium, coming out on top and earning your school and your team a playoff berth.
There's nothing like it. Nothing in this world can compare to it. My brothers are behind my back. They are my family. They'll be with me to the very end. Whenever I ain't got anybody, they'll be with me to the very end. And
you talk about your brothers on the football team as, kind of a general term, but you do have a brother on the football team too. And it's kind of cool because, I was talking to Eli and Ben, and they get to experience that together, but so do you and Maddox. And I think that's really awesome, man, that you guys get to experience that thing together, this kind of win together, and you'll get to look back years from now and say, hey, man, we did that. We brought some respect back to that C, and we earned that playoff berth, and we're going to go on, right?
He's what keeps me going. My brother, I look at him, he's inspirational.
Right.
Max has got so much life in him and can play so much football. Yeah. He won't stop. He'll play till he's done.
I heard that, and it shows. It shows. Well, listen, man, heal up, because not many people get to play their high school careers. Not many people get to go to the playoffs. So get healed up and get back out there next week, and let's keep going. As long as you keep winning, you keep playing.
I definitely will.
That's it, man. That's it. Congratulations. That's Isaiah Reynolds in. I don't know who else we have coming in. Thank you, brother. Yeah, you can go ahead and pull those off.
Thank you.
We've got a host of Central Warriors coming in tonight, giving interviews, and now we've gone from seniors all the way down to freshmen. Step on in here, Ethan. Scoot up here to the microphone. I've got quarterback Ethan Mullins here with me. First of all, congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome, man. You played an excellent football game on both sides of the football. We could talk about a lot of things, but let's talk about the interception on the final drive by Grundy and kind of what you saw, and kind of walk me through that play.
Well, I saw a quarterback step back. I just followed the receiver, turned around, the ball was there. It just went from slow motion to there until I caught it.
So the ball just kind of hung in the air. I bet it kind of seemed like it was in the air forever.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Well, from where we're sitting up here, it's quite a ways away over in that corner of the end zone where you caught the football. But you had to catch the football, number one, and you were near the back of the end zone, so you had to get 1 foot down.
Yeah, I was making sure I got that 1 foot
you
down.
Made sure you got it down. So, man, that was a great play. Earlier in the game, they had thrown your way. You had made one pass break up. You ran with him another time, and they overthrew him. And then another time he had kind of broken open, and you recovered on the play to cause an incomplete pass. So you did a great job there coming up with that pick when we needed it. Talk a little bit about the offensive side of the football. You scored a touchdown tonight. You got in on a big 2-point conversion there. You ran the football a little more tonight than you had in previous games. Don't you talk about that just a little bit?
Usually I wasn't supposed to run the ball. It was a designed pass play, and I just saw an open, and I took it.
Right, and that's kind of what we thought, especially on the bootleg down here in this end zone. It looked like you were rolling out. You were looking for a receiver. There was no one there.
Yeah, it was a slant, but that linebacker come down hard, and I couldn't make that throw.
And I think that's one of the things that people who don't know you are now starting to realize, that you can absolutely just kill people with your speed. And I saw it last week too, because you had a play with a linebacker from Gate City, and I don't think he realized how quick you are, and you just outran him to the spot, picked up a big first down for us there last week. So, here it is, man. Here you are, a freshman, first-year starter as a quarterback, and now you've led your team to the playoffs. Last question. Tell me how that feels for you.
It feels great, mainly because the seniors get one more game.
Yeah.
We'll try to take it further from there.
That's right. As long as you keep winning, they keep playing.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of this thing. So congratulations tonight, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good luck next week. All right. That's Ethan Mullins, the quarterback of the Central Warriors, who had a huge game on the offensive and the defensive side of the football tonight. Oh, now we have Mr. Lance Compton coming in here. The original. He is used to providing this content for Searle Sports Media. Does a lot of the basketball games.
Oh, goodness.
So Lance, man, it's been quite last couple weeks.
It's yeah, it has. It really has, and I'm filling in for Coach Owens because he's headed up already to Richmond to go watch the cheerleaders tomorrow. Good luck to them, of course. But yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, and I think that just being around this bunch of young kids, and even our old head, our seniors and juniors as well, that have just, even through the tough times early on this season, just continued every day. They'd show up, they'd battle, they'd fight, they'd put the work in. Always had a positive attitude, and they're seeing the results of that.
Right. And that's kind of what Chris and I have alluded to during the broadcast of the games. It seems like, like last week, you guys got down 14-0. You battled back and won the football game. Tonight, we were down 15-6 early. You battle back. You take a 2-touchdown lead.
It's tough on an old man's blood pressure.
I'm telling you. And then some of these plays that you have to call, it's tough. It's tough to know. I mean, if you've never coached football, you can step back and you say, well, I would do this or I would do that. But, really, until you're put in that situation, you don't really know what you do.
Yeah, I agree. And I, of course, get lots of suggestions and hear all those things and understand that, people, everybody's got an idea on what they'd like to do. And I got ideas on what I'd like to do too. Sometimes you just can't do those.
You just can't do them.
You got to know the kids you've got and what they're good at, what their strengths are. Stay away from their weaknesses. And with this bunch, that's what we tried to do. We've tried to build with their strengths and continue just to be positive with them, continue to love on them, continue to try to make them grow up quicker than they probably need to. But they've done that. And we've all week we preached, guys, let's get one more week together. One more week to get a little better. Going to head over to Ridgeview. Who in the world knows what happens? Playoffs, got a brand new clean slate. I think there's nobody outside of probably this facility that thinks we can go over and win a football game. But I know I've got 30 kids in there and a bunch of coaching staff who think we can go over and win. We might not, but we think we can.
That's exactly right. And like you said, I mean, those 30 kids in there, they believe they can go win that football game next weekend. So it is Ridgeview.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I believe we won tonight. I'm sure I haven't seen the scores. I'm assuming they probably did beat Honaker. So we'll be.
They were up 51-0, but a pretty important player for them got ejected.
Okay.
And so he's going to miss at least a couple of games.
Interesting.
That could carry over into the next week.
Okay.
So
that'd be interesting.
That's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. We won't really throw out any names or anything. You can go look that up after we get off the air here. But I told these guys, the seniors I talked to, I said, the longer you keep winning, you keep playing.
Exactly right.
And they just got big smiles on their face because really that's what it's all about, man.
I'll tell you what too, man, you probably know this, and I'll finish up with this. We got a good stinking bunch of kids. Yeah. They're just good kids. They're hard-nosed. They're tough. They want to win. They want to be successful. And we haven't been real successful the last couple of years. We've had some stuff go against us. Had some stuff go against us early this year.
Yeah.
But we've just got a good group of young men who just want to win football games, and more importantly, they just want to spend time together. And you can see that with, as me as a coach and a guy getting to occasionally call some plays to kind of help us out, just to be able to see those boys get to come and work every day together and just build relationships that because you guys played high school sports, those are the same relationships that even through college and stuff, you keep those relationships with those guys you always pick back right up with, even if you're not seeing them for 10 or 15 years, just like you never left. And that's what I enjoy about being around the game of football and about being around these young men is just the fact that they're a family, they love each other, and they want to go to battle for each other.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man.
Well said.
Well said. Thank you, Coach. All right, guys. Is that the last of the interviewees tonight? Then wow. Yeah. That was some good stuff there. Yeah, I thought it was real cool. Ben Stallard comes in, senior, worked real hard.
Yeah, he looked a little teared up,
a little emotional in here, and that's what it's all about. So hats off to the Warriors, their coaching staff, the fans.
Yeah, great job right there by Coach Compton with what he had to say right there about those men, young men. They just want to stay together and keep playing, and they'll get at least one more and, see what happens from there. So, there we are again. Warriors win tonight, 28-27. Good hard-fought football game. Kelly, wish your boys the best of luck there tomorrow as you travel over and play in the in that game over at Gay City against Lynn Garden. Again, wish the best of luck to our cheerleading squad who compete in the state cheer competition tomorrow. And again, wish the best of luck to our middle school boys and girls team basketball teams as they take on Twin Springs tomorrow up here at Central High School beginning at 10 o'clock. Kelly, got anything you'd like to add here before we close?
I just want to say this, this is the first year we've got to do this. It's been a lot of fun. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Want to thank you. Want to thank Evan for having us on. Want to thank Peanut over here for putting up with us and giving us some stats and things that we can go off of for our broadcast. We've had a lot of fun. We hope that we have brought the game to you as the lights have gone out here at Central Warrior Stadium.
Absolutely. They're trying to tell us we need to leave. But again, I said it last year, thanks to Evan for doing this. This is a dream come true for me. I've always wanted to do this and have had a great time. Again, the Central Warriors beat the Grundy Golden Wave tonight 28-27 to advance to next week's playoffs where they'll take on what we believe will be the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Again, Warriors finished the season 4-6 and will advance to the playoffs. For Evan Sturgill, for Peanut, for Kelly Foster, again, I'm Chris Wilson saying good night.